Welcome to the Intoxicated Podcast, a weekly comedy talk show that dives into the personal lives of comedians, experts, and creators. I'm your host, Sarah McClellan, a very amateur stand-up comedian and self-proclaimed sad girl. It's the comedy podcast with a lot of heart. Feel hard and talk hard. This is the Intoxicated Podcast.
That's nothing worse than losing money.
No.
I signed up for a porn site and had the same problem.
And this is the episode opening. We're going to start it right there.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah, I never paid for porn. It was an impulse. I was like, this one's...
Oh, no. Was it like a moment of horniness where you were like...
Yeah, they sold me a little bit, and it was a free trial. And
please tell me it was the game that makes you come in 40 seconds.
No.
Please tell me it was that one. I'm so curious about that one.
No, I don't. I want to stick to real life people. That's like cartoons and shit where it's like these tits were scientifically designed to be perfect. No, I don't want to warp my brain and standards.
I'm just so curious about that because I'm just like, did it work? Did people come in 40 seconds?
Probably. Otherwise, they'd get sued, I guess.
I just feel like I could win that game because I'm on antidepressants and I feel nothing.
But wouldn't that make it harder to come in 40 seconds?
But isn't it like, okay, yeah, I guess what's winning and what's losing. Like if you don't come in 40 seconds, did you win?
Yeah.
Did you win?
Yeah,
or,
you won.
Like how does this game work?
If you have a limp dick and you're crying and you didn't come in 40 seconds, you win.
Yeah.
They owe you money now.
I would win then.
Yeah.
As a woman, I would too.
Well, every woman would win that. What game? What could they possibly put on the screen to make every woman come in 40 seconds? I don't know.
Some women are quick. I don't know. I think women could do it.
Yeah, people are built. They can do like 40 orgasms in a minute or some shit. I've had friggin' multiple orgasms then. Nice.
I just don't believe it, but that's just me.
So it's supposed to be a free trial for this porn site. And,
Yeah.
And then they were like, after the 3 days of it wasn't even a free trial. It was like $250 for 3 days.
Yeah.
Then that's all I wanted. I'm not going to be a weirdo who pays for porn. I'm just going to do it once and judge people who do it forever.
That's not weird.
I never said that. I'm not on camera. You can't.
It's not weird to pay for porn.
Oh, God. I got called out already. I'm nervous. I'm sweating. Oh, what else am I going to say?
Gonna make my sex worker friends really mad. No, I'm just joking.
That's the thing. What was that? Taylor Tomlinson's new special. She was like, she said sex worker in a joke, and then she said or prostitute if you're like an old stupid fucking whitey honky whatever. And then I was like, oh, wait a minute, that was me, because I was like, what's wrong with prostitute? I thought in my head, and that one caught me off guard. I'm usually here from word of mouth, but I don't actually go on social media, so I don't know what the new rules are.
That's your
what
excuse.
the new words are. So I basically am a boomer.
No, that's
a
fairly new thing. I don't blame you for messing up on that.
Because I thought
fairly new.
Prostitute sounds like the polite version. There's already steps up. There's hooker and whore and stuff. Like there's rude versions already. Prostitute, I think it was fine.
Prostitute's like middle of the road.
Sex
worker's the best thing to call them. Or you would call them like entrepreneurs. Like that's
too broad. That's not specific. Right? You're an entrepreneur. If you've ever made $1 off this, you're an entrepreneur.
Fuck yeah, I am.
I know these entrepreneurial type women, they'll go down on you. No problem. $50.
Oh man. It's it's just so funny to me. So what ended up so you thought it was a free trial?
And then in the fine print was and then once the 3 days are up, we'll automatically charge you for a year.
But you didn't see that part.
I did see it like right after.
Right.
And then saw it wasn't like an almost got caught thing. The blood pressure wasn't up. I had 3 days to figure out because I realized it immediately.
Right.
So like I watched a few videos just to get something out of it. And then My girlfriend's gonna hate me after this.
I love this. No,
She's so excited to watch me on this podcast again, and the first thing I talk about is.
Oh my god! No, shout out. Can we say her name? No.
Yeah, I'm gonna advertise her business.
Do it right now, right off the top.
She told me not to. So, Cassandra Bennett at Cassandra Bennett Hair Design. I probably got that wrong. Sorry.
Bedford, right?
Bedford Vibe Salon in Bedford. She'll
wish-
cut your hair. She'll make it look different.
Yeah.
You tell her to make it look like something, and she'll do it.
If I lived a lot closer to Bedford, I would totally go to her because I'm really looking to establish a relationship with a hairdresser. But Bedford is too far for me to travel by bus.
Just when she's going to work, she'll come by and pick you up, and then you can just hang out at the Bedford Place Mall all day.
I just want a hairdresser. I want someone to tell me what to do because every time I go to the hairdresser, they go, "What do you want?" And I just go, "I want things to look better."
Yeah, they probably hate that.
But if you're a professional hair artiste,
yeah,
shouldn't you know, like, be able to make suggestions or like kind of guide people in the right way?
They would probably be a little frustrated if you just gave them nothing, though.
Oh, I mean, I could give them something.
I want it to be better.
I could tell them,
they'd wanna-
generally, like, what I, like, I want smooth or volume or
Yeah.
bangs or no bangs or long, short. But, like, layers and shit. Like, all I know is that TikTok told me to get long face framing blended layers.
That's plenty to work with
That's
there.
what TikTok said.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess that's what I'm getting.
That's what I'm supposed to look like.
Yeah. But then curtain bangs were a thing. And no one that I've seen yet, I don't think, has done curtain bangs on me correctly. So, Cassandra, maybe I will be coming your way
There you
for an
go.
appointment. Who knows? 20 minutes of preamble. Let's get into it.
Yeah. So I try to cancel the subscription.
I love that this should just be a story that we tell throughout the podcast. Like,
Yeah.
never let it end. Like, just keep going back to it.
You see that a lot in specials. I almost want to like count all the specials I've seen it in. It's not like a bad, I'm not saying it's hacky or anything. It's kind of a cool move, but like you can always just like, you're telling a story, then you go on a tangent, long tangent, and then you go, so I was at the store, and then everybody fucking laughs. And it's great. So I just did it on you like 3 times just to test it.
It's really, did you end up canceling it?
I did, but it's like comical how hard they make it. Like you have to like, you Google it. There's a frequently asked questions thing. You go to this one site, and then it's like, now you got to go to this chat room where you got to wait for somebody. You're like, you're second in the queue. It'll be a few minutes.
My God.
And you got to talk to someone, and they'll be like, okay, so you like porn. What's up? And then I want to cancel. I'll try to talk like as bluntly as possible. I would like to cancel. Do not take money from me.
Yeah.
Stop it now.
For
End my
late-
membership. And
Yes,
they're like,
yes.
oh, that's pretty stupid of you. Why would you do that? There's lots of hot shit on here, blah, blah. And then you keep on going. And then they're like,
Try to sell you on it.
all right, here's the thing. We'll give you like 50% off all the anal stuff, all this, that, and that.
Exactly.
And then at the end, they're like, sound fair?
Yeah.
Like, oh, like
You're getting a good offer.
they really think they got me hook, line, and sinker.
line,
And I was getting
sinker.
paranoid. Like, you guys fucking leave my credit card alone, please.
But they ended up, you stood your ground.
Yeah. And I was like, good. Now my girlfriend will never find out about this. It's done.
I always wonder if people would fall for something like that. Now I know people do, like you.
I fell for a phishing thing the other day. Like a thing just Canada Post, and it was like, oh, your package wasn't, and I was waiting for a package for like a long time, and it was like, it wasn't delivered, $2 reshipping fee, put in your thing, and then like I put in my info, and then I looked at the URL, and it was like, that's not Canada Post, I'm fucked. So I've just been like locking, I haven't gotten to the bank, like I just haven't gotten around to it.
Right.
It's been like 2 weeks, I've just been locking my card, and then unlocking it when I go to buy something, and then locking it again. Right now it's unlocked. I've been a little loosey-goosey because nothing's happened. And
Oh my God. Oh my God.
so I don't it's almost maxed out, my credit card, so I just leave it almost maxed out. I don't want too much there for them to be able to steal if they do.
That's a great.
Hopefully
but
they're
you
not.
know what? What
they're-
I learned, credit cards can go over their limit. So be careful.
They can, yeah, a little bit.
Listen, I'm getting my life together because I bought $30 worth of Excel templates that
Oh, yeah.
from this girlswhoexcel.com. And it's to like get my life together. So I have a habit tracker that tracks like all my good habits that I'm trying to do, like daily, weekly, monthly.
Yeah.
And it tracks my progress. And then I have a personal finance one that's like a tab for like, here's where you're at with all the debt you have, and like here's how you're spending, and like it's I like it. I'm getting my shit together. I'm really trying.
That would help me hate myself less. That's all stuff that I'm just is in the back of my mind, and I just let it sit there, and then
yeah.
But if it was like,
here's
if you had an objective thing to say you got less shitty since yesterday, then it would be encouraging, I guess.
Yeah, and I was feeling good until I saw that one of my credit cards had those Adobe charges on it, and then I went, isn't that my luck?
Yeah.
Isn't that my luck?
And now there's this tense atmosphere in your home. It's filled with the hauntings of stress.
Wellbutrin's making me less reactive. Like I'm
reacting makes me less reactive. I went for it.
Oh my God. It's making me less like stressy. Like which is good.
Yeah, that's what it's for.
Like things happen and I just go, okay.
Yeah.
That just happened. And then move on with my day. So, Wellbutrin. This episode is sponsored by Wellbutrin.
Wellbutrin.
The antidepressant they give you when you have ADHD and anxiety.
Oh, that's what I need.
Mm-hmm. It's good. I like it. Has no sexual side effects, apparently.
Oh, that's the big hang up that makes me not even want to try.
Like Prozac and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. All right, let's get fucking into it, guys. Oh my God. All right. Hi, hello. We're back on this podcast that has a very inconsistent release schedule right now, but we're going to get back at it with a returning guest. You haven't been on in about a year.
Mm-hmm. A boot.
You were in on the episode that was, I think, around the 170s, which was one of my favorite times on the podcast because it was just so much fucking fun. Please welcome back to the pod. And I can say Michael, right?
Yeah.
Please welcome back to the podcast, Michael Kennedy.
Second and only time.
Formerly Thomas Kennedy.
Yeah.
Second and only.
That didn't make sense.
No, it does. It's your only time as Michael.
It's my only time doing it for the second time.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
It's your first time doing it for the second time.
Yeah.
We might not be as drunk for this one because we're both responsible now.
Wow, I don't feel like walking home this time. Intoxicated.
So the last podcast we did, we drank a lot of Caesars. I think smoked a lot of weed too.
That was like the most I ever drank in one sitting and the most I ever smoked in one sitting and once. And I don't know, something, the adrenaline from the being on air or something. I didn't really feel like it.
Yeah.
It didn't really seem like it. I usually would throw up from that much. It's kind of strange.
Yeah.
I don't know how I did it, but I'm not doing it now.
Well, you pulled through and then you walked home that night.
Yeah.
Which was like an adventure for you? Like,
no, that back then I was walking all the time because I didn't have a girlfriend, so I had a bunch of time to fill up. So I would just wander the streets.
That's me now. Yeah, I love walking.
Yeah.
Especially on like hot summer nights. It's nice.
Oh, summer nights are the best.
Right?
Yeah.
Walk like on a really hot, humid summer night, and then the humidity breaks a bit and it gets a little chillier. It's the fucking best. But welcome back to the show. So, you've been like in and out of stand up.
Yeah, because mostly because of my occupation, which is why I went by Thomas. I didn't want the world colliding.
You wanted to keep them separated.
Yeah, but here we go. I'll just say it. I'm a nurse,
yes.
So that's why the pandemic really fucked things up. I was working at a nursing home, so I couldn't really be going out to bars all the time.
Fuck me, Jesus Christ!
But I've always been like in and out of stand up because of nursing, so I've always.
The schedule really doesn't help.
Yeah, because I started while I was in school, so I'd have to keep on going back to Cape Breton. I was going to school in Cape Breton, so I'd have to go back between semesters to do school.
Right.
But then coincidentally, they opened up a mic in Sydney, in my hometown, so I was able to get up like once a week at least.
Get up there.
But there was lots of like gaps. So like I started in 2017, but I'm not nearly as good as a 5-year comic should be because of all these
breaks.
It's so annoying. Like I want to just tell people I'm a 5-year comic, but then I don't want to be like, oh, well, you should be better. I'm just gonna have to accept the fact that I'm a stunted 5-year comic.
Could you add up the months you did it consistently and then?
Yeah, but
kind of
I don't want to do that. It's too much explaining. I don't want to do a whole speech every time I tell someone asks.
This is all you say. I've done it casually for 5 years.
Yeah. I'm not. I've been not taking it seriously for 5 years.
You've been having casual sex with comedy.
One night stands. One night a week stands.
Friends with benefits.
Yeah.
You never went steady. Never settled down.
No, it's been a complicated relationship.
Buddy, tell me about it. I've been doing it consistently, and it's complicated. Do you find like I wish I could take long breaks? Like I actually envy it. Like, do you find what's the biggest challenge with like breaking and then coming back after a long break?
I'm mostly worried about like what other people think of me, like thinking that I'm not in it. I don't give a shit. Like I'm not at the same level because I'm not seeing them all the time. It's
right.
Like I'm half in, half out. Which whatever, people are gonna think what they're gonna think. Like people are gonna say what they say. I'm never gonna know because that's the nature of talking behind people's backs. But obviously you shouldn't care, but you do. So you just try to act like you don't. That's like trying to come back after COVID, like, because there was a time when I would have been comfortable going back or not give a shit enough to be willing to go back, but something was still stopping me because I was like, I probably suck now. Everybody thinks I stink because everybody thinks I quit probably. And so I was always in my head about that and didn't want to come back.
It is just such a thing that like, it's interesting to me that like none of your insecurities are like, oh, I won't be good, or like, I'll be rusty. It's like,
that too.
Okay, good.
It's that too, but also I found as a person who's taken lots of breaks, I've always had like a lot of beginner's luck when I came back. But I think lately I've figured out a lot about how bad I actually am.
You're not bad.
No, like, but I am though. Like, relatively to what like just a regular working headliner. I'm not even a smidgen close. I've been kind of treading waters for 5 years, but I think I've figured out like a lot of just recently what is bad about me. Like, what
is it?
I'm addicted to new material, like to a point where it's the only way I can connect with the audience. I don't connect enough at all. Like I'm so scripted. I got everything because I'm so worried about forgetting a line or something that I make sure it's all in there, and then I have less nerves. And then inadvertently I end up connecting to the audience anyway, just because like I can't help it, but it's constricted because I made it like 7 minutes exactly. When I practice this out, it lasts 7 minutes. I don't want to go over or under, so I can't really even afford to interact. I got to actually have the balls to be like, I'm making like 5.5 minutes worth of material. Another minute and a half, I'm going to have to just try to...
So you're not addicted to new material, you're just addicted to material.
Well, I find it's the only way I can connect because I'm really not good at building an act. Like I think it's very ADD kind of mindset. I just get so sick of things when I'm doing a joke over and over, even if I'm like changing it really helps. But like when I have it, this one works is my reliable one that I start with so I can get to the new material. Oh, fuck. I'm losing my train of thought right now. I was on a roll for a second.
You open with a new joke or and tried and true.
Yeah, no, so when I'm doing jokes that are tried and true, I feel almost like a phony. Like, I've said this before. I can't connect as much with what I'm saying.
No. So any like, I've been honored to like be able to talk with like so many pros, and they all say that there is not enough with new comics. There's not enough focus on polishing versus new jokes, and polishing and perfecting is like a very important thing that you should do. So
I've been neglecting it the whole time.
But comics need to get it out of their head like that. They're sick of me hearing this, because how many times have you heard the same jokes from comics? A lot, probably.
Yeah, it's true. But
and you don't judge them, do you?
A little bit sometimes.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I guess
but I shouldn't be. Well, obviously,
I think it depends on how that joke is doing. Because if it is a joke that has never done well, yeah, that's fucking annoying.
When I see someone, they're doing it the exact same way. Sometimes it does good, sometimes it does bad. I guess that's makes sense though, because you're like trying to suss out what the differences are and stuff. But I don't know. I think I always, everybody probably focuses too much on their strengths a lot. Like I always like, oh yeah, I'm good at coming up with new material. That's great, but like. It's kind of not to an extent, but it's more fun. It's so much more fun doing new stuff, I find.
Oh my God.
It feels like I'm actually talking to them about it.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it feels way more genuine.
You have a point because, I guess when you have a new joke, you're feeling everything.
You're
more conversational.
I almost feel more confident in new material sometimes.
Oh, that's crazy.
I've been opening with a new thing like every set for like.
Good. Actually, on an episode that is not out now, but hopefully one day you guys will hear it. The comic said the same thing, that she will write her opener that day, like the day of a show.
That is kind of like the last thing that falls into place sometimes.
It's
always dumb. Like because like I find it like you could front load with your best short joke or whatever, but like I always want to put some bullshit before that even, or like just I don't know. It's like I said earlier, I always think it's good to like open with just acknowledging something that happened is like an easy way to just get a laugh right off the bat and like connect with them, be like, I'm in the room with you right now, I'm not just reciting. Which is like I said, my biggest problem. I'm way too reciting, but I'll make perfectionist. Like I want it to be exactly as I wrote it. I don't want it to like
deviate.
I figured out the exact words. I cut all the words. I don't want it to be extra words because then it's not what it is. Like kind of obsessive.
But you're good at like dealing with things as it comes. Like you'll say things in between jokes that are like fun and like on the spot.
I do, but it's so basic. It's very bare bones. Like
that's something.
It's something. Yeah, it's a step in the right direction. I think that's what is making me realize all this a little bit. Is like
build on that.
Yeah, I just got to go up with less material than I have time on stage.
Yes, just less jokes.
But it's like fucking going without a parachute. It's so
of course, nervous. It's really scary. Yeah. But like start with like one less joke, see how that goes.
Yeah.
Then do two. Like
I'm like so like I feel like some people kind of have their voice already. Like you got a style. Most people, except for the new people, I have no inkling of what my voice is. Like 1 minute I want to do like stories, and then I'm like, I just want to do a whole set of short jokes, Mr. X, but I really have no idea. I'm edgy, and sometimes I'm not. And
right, but that's fucking Christ. I mean, I feel like that's most of the journey is figuring out your voice.
Yeah.
And style, and like
not even close. I feel like,
but it can take people like decades.
Yeah.
Sometimes to do that, like, so I wouldn't stress out about that. And
no,
also,
I'm not overly stressed, but it's just something on my mind. Like, I wonder where I'm going with this, because like every joke seems like it's disconnected.
Because I worry I sound too much like the comics I like, and then I get in my head about that.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
But it's like almost inevitable that you're gonna do that.
Yeah. I mean.
Some comics don't watch any comedy. Like, isn't Albert like that?
Yeah.
Some people actively avoid watching, so they don't have zero influence at all.
It is frustrating when you see someone that is like no other. Like we can name names in this scene. Kyle Burnett, Jim Temple, Albert. Like they're all so unique.
They got their voices.
That there's no other them. Steve Mackey. There's no other Steve Mackey.
Yeah. Well, his is set in stone. I think he's like very authentic. But like the other three, they might like completely change directions. Who knows? Do a 180 later on in their careers.
What could be it?
Could be.
I mean,
I could see it, but like right now they have a niche.
I really do feel like the grass is like it's that grass is always greener situation. Like story comics don't. They want to try maybe not to do stories. People who don't do stories wish they could do stories. Like like that's me. Like stories stress me out. I've never tried it.
They're super stressful.
I don't know if there's a story that I even have in my life that's funny enough to tell on stage.
I feel like you get judged way harsher when stories don't go well.
Of course, because you're taking them on a journey, and then the payoff better be good.
Yeah, and it wastes more time if it doesn't work, and you're like committed.
Yeah.
It'd be really awkward if you just stopped in the middle of a story because they didn't like it.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and then I feel like there's almost like people think you're pretentious if you think you can tell a story. Like, you think you're one of the greats if you can build a narrative. Like, what do you think you are?
I just feel like the key is making it punchy all the way through.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's like...
little punchlines, little funny things along the way.
Yeah. Well, that's like my goal all the time. Is like every sentence needs to be a punchline, and then you find out like these like things you thought were weak punchlines when you do them are actually just non-punchlines.
I mean, they don't have to be like straight punchlines, but even just funny little things that can get a little chuckle out of people.
Yeah.
And keep them on board the whole time because it is stressful.
But that's what I find happens sometimes when you're like, yeah, that's a funny little thing. That's a funny little thing. And yeah, they're mildly funny, but they're not enough to get a laugh. And then there's a big like void of silence in between like the big punchlines that you really like.
Right? That's why I stay the fuck away from it.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do it. I'm like, observations only. Observations.
How long
only.
do you think your average joke is in seconds?
Average? Maybe 40 seconds? No.
That's really good. That's manageable for the like 7-minute sets. Like you can really just craft.
I tend to do like if I'm doing 7 minutes, I will have 7 to 8 jokes. Right.
Oh, see, I never even think of like what's the number of jokes I have because it's always like I do my short jokes that I think will get things ramped up at the start, and then I usually have a couple like 2-minute jokes.
Right, but that's good.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I almost feel like sometimes it's like I'm gearing people into like, oh, he's misdirect jokes, and then all of a sudden now we're doing a story and this pacing feels off now. I worry about that sometimes. Like short jokes and then a big story. It's like, why have we moved on yet? And it's like, oh no, this is the closer. This is the story.
People won't notice if it's funny.
Yeah. I don't know, but I overthink.
Aim to make people laugh and happy.
Yeah. Like
no big deal. No pressure. It's not hard, is it? No, I'm just joking. It's very
worst
hard.
time in history.
It's very, very hard to
make
be
people
funny.
smile.
Do you think being funny can be taught?
Yeah, probably. I feel like
Can be learned, or
maybe not. Well, yeah, it's like a bodybuilder. Like you can have good genetics and be like on top of your training and be the best of the best, or you can be like good genetics and lazy and be okay, and then someone who's got bad genetics could pass you. Like I think it's like anything like that. Nature, nurture, bullshit.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think it's just important for comics to hang around comics. All the time.
I don't.
Well, we're
I don't have any friends.
Let's get into it. Okay, we're going to do assumptions. Are you ready for the assumptions segment?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Is the music playing now for the listener? You press something on your phone. Oh, it's Snapchat. Never mind.
No, I should cue up the soundboard with my segment music.
You didn't have segments when I was on. Am I going to hear music?
Yeah. Okay. So after I said assumption segment, a little song will play.
I like the rant song.
The rant song is fun. Okay, I notoriously suck at this segment.
I got black flies for tonight. I think Chris Hansen was following me all the way here from the liquor store. I don't know. Would that...
Wait.
Chris Hansen, the pedophile hunter.
But what does it have to do with black flies?
I don't know. I thought maybe that's like a drink that you get minors.
Oh,
right?
No. That's not good. I like it.
Good one? Yeah.
I mean,
Catch a Predator joke is the most original joke that can be made.
Good pedophile joke. I like that.
Nobody makes Catch a Predator jokes.
Okay, so one of the things I said, and I don't react to this right away. Let me explain myself.
Can't wait to react immediately.
No, but like let me explain myself after I say the assumption, because my assumption was that you tend to disappear socially from like your outer circle of friends when you're in a relationship. Let me explain. But I think that's not a bad thing always. But would you say that that's true?
It's definitely true.
Like, because the times that we hung out a bunch, you were briefly single. Mm-hmm. And then you were back in a relationship, and then no one saw Michael for a long time. I don't think it's a bad...
No.
I've gone on record. There's a clip on my Instagram of me with Chris talking about this, because he was like, whenever you get a boyfriend, we're never seeing you. And I was like,
yeah, that was his assumption about you.
100% people. I'm not going to be seen.
No, I do that, and but I think it is a bad thing. I should be able to maintain a social life and have a significant other, but I think I just don't have the urge to make friends. Honestly, like, I must just be like a fucking lone wolf psychology, because I like need one person and I'm good.
That's what I was going to follow it up with. I feel like you're like a one person.
Yeah.
Like, you're someone who appreciates friends, but you don't need a lot of friends. You don't need... It's one of those things where you're that person that, like, you can just chat with every now and then, and it's like, oh yeah, Michael, yeah, what's up?
Yeah.
And it's not this like need to like constantly hang out, constantly talk.
I find people are a burden. Like, I get when someone anybody texts me to do anything, even if it's something like that would be fun and I would enjoy, I am like kind of like, ugh. There's a thing I gotta think about, a thing I gotta plan. I'm just lazy as fuck, basically.
It's an obligation thing.
Yeah.
That when you all of a sudden get used to and happy with being on your own, or like in your case, like alone, but also like you have like a partner that you have a home life with, and you guys seem to have a lot of fun together too. That's another assumption I have, that like you're in a really healthy, fun relationship that's fulfilling, and then thus you don't need to like do all this other stuff.
I kind of don't have the urge to have any other acquaintances.
That's the thing. I don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't know. I think it might be kind of bad. Like, maybe. My mental health's in shambles, and maybe a friend or two would probably help that. I don't know.
But I have gone out of my way a couple times to message you and say that we missed you.
Yeah. And then I asked you if you wanted to play VR, and you said yes. And then
I said no.
Yeah. And you posted that video saying like, oh, I have a lot of secondary friends and no real close friends. It's like, I should be friends with Sarah. I have no friends. And I was like, I guess not.
No. I actually like greatly appreciated that message, like more than you know.
Ooh.
Because and like this is where things will get sad for me, is like and I said it last night at comedy, because I brought joints. Because my first thought was, I really want to be social and talk to people, but I gotta offer them something.
Yeah.
And if it's not a podcast, I can offer joints.
That's how a monkey would make friends.
But like, that's sad.
No.
That I feel like I have to offer a service to bond with somebody.
Maybe.
And so when you asked me to hang out like outside of comedy and outside of podcasting, I was like, that is so nice, because no one really does that with me a lot. Not comics anyway. Well, I have a couple of comic friends that like I've done things with outside of comedy.
Yeah.
And I love, and like I will hold those people really close to me, and I will hope that it happens again and again and again. But I find for the most part my social life is like at comedy shows, and right now here doing this, which is still fun, but it is work for me. So when someone asks me to hang out and like do something like that doesn't involve like making content or like performing,
there's no ends to the means.
I'm like, that's so nice, because that means that you like me as a person and not just me as a colleague.
Yeah. Well, I need friends too. I always thought that stand-up would just be like automatic friends, but it's kind of feels more like a workplace almost when you're at a show. Everybody's thinking about what they're going to do, and then you're not talking to each other the whole show because you don't want to talk over the show. And then at the end, it's like, I kind of feel like going home. Like, yeah, the post-show hang is great a lot of the times. I haven't had one in a while, but...
post-show hang is kind of rare these days, I find.
Yeah, a little bit.
Because I think people have fallen into their groups. And unless that whole group is at a show, it doesn't really... People just kind of dwindle.
Yeah.
I think like there was a period like 2 years ago where the post-show hangs were like really popping
off.
Like, you know, like fucking go to Freeman's after. And
it was fun because it was just like pretty much a group would amass at the end of every show, and it was really it wasn't cliquey. Like I'm not part of any of those friend groups, but like if I was there, they'd be like, "You want to come?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. No. But I would agree. It doesn't really happen that much anymore. I mean, I think if people initiated it, it could happen. One of my things, going back to my fucking spreadsheets, going back to my life spreadsheets that are like supposed to help me get my shit together. One of my like weekly goals is like, I have like a couple of things. It's just like every day, talk to one friend, like engage in a little conversation on like Messenger or text, or talk to one friend per day. And then each week I have make 2 plans. You know, whether that's like coffee, go for a walk, like just simple plans.
I got a girlfriend. She makes those for me.
Right?
Days off, she fills them up.
I don't, right? So I gotta make it happen.
Going to the spa tomorrow.
Yeah, so I actually like have it in my like to-do list to initiate plans with people. Like to actually like be like, let's do this at this time. How about this restaurant at this time on this day? Kind of thing.
Well, we always got the next class of comics. There's a bunch of new people since all the Brandon Michael generation. I'm getting held back a grade here, so maybe they'll be my new peers.
That's funny that you like. That's how you see yourself. That you've been
I
held
do.
back a
I
grade?
think I've been held back a grade. I
What
have.
class do you see yourself in?
Now the whoever the new people are now, I don't know them.
No, you're not. You're not that new.
Yeah, I know, but like
I'm
not getting anything. I get the open mics and that's it. I've
See,
never
and-
done a one-off show.
And maybe it's because when I started, you were coming back, and
I come back too much. That's
there
my
was
problem.
me and Joel and Michaela that started all of that summer, and you came back around that time. I see you in my class, even though I know you've been doing it longer. But like when I think of the time frame, like I see you in that group, but it's there's not many people in that group.
Technically, I'm in like Sam Bartol's class. We started on the same night.
Right, exactly. Technically.
But like then I look at what they're all doing and I'm like, oh yeah, I've been held back a grade.
But
that's why I say
But
that.
there's a reason you've been held back. Like,
I know there is. I
it's not
haven't been doing it.
And listen, guys, listening. He does give a shit about comedy. He's busy fucking saving lives. Okay, what the fuck have you done?
And it's I feel like this kind of resentment towards nursing, and this is kind of where we get to the territory why I never even wanted to say I was a nurse, because they warn you throughout the whole thing, like, do not do anything on social media, like the TikTok nursing things. My professors would be having a shit fit.
Wait, what is this?
Just like they really scare the shit out of you all through nursing school about confidentiality, and it's like, don't even make a post about nursing. If you say like, I had a bad day, then like a patient's family could be like, oh, my dad like threw up on him, that's why he had a bad day.
Right.
Like people will deduce things, so you got to be really careful. But I think I'm not getting drunk. My tongue should be
Well, we're talking
not
about
sinking ships.
about comedy.
Yes, but yeah,
And
the nursing career cock blocks comedy for me, and it makes me very frustrated.
And that's just a fact.
But I'm stuck in it because I can't afford to do anything else. Like I got how much my student loans are and all my bills. Like I'm living paycheck to paycheck on this like decent amount of money. So I'm kind of stuck. But at the same time, I could also immigrate to the States really easily as a nurse from Canada.
Would you want to move to the States?
Yeah, like I want to go for it. I want to go for it. Like New York City or LA or something. It's kind of like a pipe dream, but like
Why?
because like I want to be a famous comedian. Like I want to.
But if you're working as a nurse in the States, are you going to be able to work on the comedy there any harder than you are here?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I'm not there.
Bam!
I can't afford it. But yeah, no, actually, no. Because I would be able to work on it way harder in New York. You could get like 5 spots a night. And with nursing here, the shift work kind of sucks. Like a day job would be a lot better. I thought, nursing would be sweet because you work like 12-hour shifts in this big cluster, and then you have 5 days off in a row. Which, yeah, the 5 days off in a row are nice, but like.
But you're recovering probably from a lot of
Yeah, well, fuck that. It doesn't matter what I feel like I'm doing comedy because. When I wasn't doing it in COVID, like I've never felt self-hatred like that for me not doing it. Like I beat myself up so hard. Like I'm not even a fucking comic anymore. Like that was my identity. I don't like identify as a nurse. Like I don't feel like that's in my.
Right.
I'm probably stuck in some Erickson stages from development, but maybe identity is one of them. But I don't like. I'm not like I'm a nurse.
It feels purposeful for you to do comedy. It feels...
Well, yeah, it's more rewarding, which is fucked up. I literally like keep people alive, but making them chuckle makes me more rewarded.
That's really... No, honestly, though, but that's... Hey, like, that speaks volumes, what you just said, because that's saying your soul needs to do it.
Yeah, I was depressed as fuck, and like,
be happy.
Then just I was thinking like, oh, my anxiety is at an all-time high from work right now. Like, work fucking kicks my ass, man. You don't even know like how hard COVID is on the system. Like, it's pretty much over for everybody else, but like we literally have outbreaks every other week. We like half our staff is gone with COVID, and then we are short-staffed constantly. Like. And you just go home feeling like guilty because like you couldn't get to shit. You're letting people down all the time because like you got to prioritize things. You can't
go out as much, be social because you have to be extra careful because of your job.
Ah, fuck that. I'm vaxxed.
I wonder if that can be cut. I don't know.
Yeah, joking, extra careful. No, we do. I swab myself like every shift basically, and then if I had contact with a positive person, I get a right up the brain swab before I do any shows and stuff. Like, yeah,
right.
But right now we're not on outbreak. We finally kicked another one.
So much of life is figuring out the balance between like what you're going to do to survive and make money, what you're doing that enriches your life. And then there's all these other things that you have to do as well as a human, like self-care, fucking be a good boyfriend. Like there's all these other things you have to balance. So it's not fucking easy for anybody.
I know, but it's like, I'm not even balancing that much compared to most. I think I got like a low tolerance for life. I don't know. Because some people, I don't understand how anybody can be a nurse and have kids. I guess if you had a partner, yeah, it'd make it a little easier. But if you're both working, like, oh man, it's a fucking nightmare as it is. Just trying to. But and then I went when I was all hesitant about starting again through COVID, beat myself up, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, this is gonna be too intense to like do work and comedy, but it's actually like the opposite. It's like I'm way more relaxed now.
It gives you
something to look forward to. Like it's so good. But I do remember a time working at the nursing home and like comedy and nursing was like too hard to do at the same time.
Right.
I think I had to take another little break there, but that's when I was just starting nursing.
Right.
And they tell you like when you start, like right when you're about to leave, they're like, by the way, your life's going to be hell for 2 years. And this is like before COVID. This is just like standard thing they tell you.
The
like
default.
Yeah. Starting to be a nurse, your life is just fucking torment and hell and stress and anxiety for like 2 years. Now probably 4 years because of COVID.
What compelled, like, I mean, obviously like stability and money is great, but is there another thing compelling you to, is there another thing that compelled you to get into nursing, this field that is so hard and taxing?
If I knew I wanted to do comedy, I probably would have done something else that would have allowed for it better. Or maybe I still would have done it because I would have been too stupid to realize that it would be such a hard combination. But probably I made a decision in high school. I think I was just in a rush to like pick something.
Right.
I liked that there wasn't any confusion about the career path. It was just you go for 4 years, you have the thing you need to do this job. And I always wanted whatever I did to be helpful to human beings and not like a corporation or something.
Right.
I saw that movie Office Space when I was young. It left a huge impression. Honestly, like Office Space, I accredit to joining nursing because I was like, I don't want a soulless thing where my purpose in life is to make someone else money.
Right.
I want it to be like, I kind of like a weird self-psychology hack. I just thought, well, I will be happy if my purpose is to help people. Like that's just conducive to good well-being for a human being, I thought, theorized when I signed up for it. Like I'm going to cheat my way into being fulfilled. Like if I just have this job, I'm going to be doing fulfilling things all the times. But like the highlighting fulfilling moments where like the patients are like, singing your praises to telling you how much you like changed their life or whatever, like the whole time you're in your head like yeah thank you, but like shut up, I got like 7 other things to do. It's like if you're getting too much applause when you have a short set or something, you're like shut up, I want to get my other jokes out, I want to chart everything so I can go home on time.
Right. Interesting.
So you can't even soak up the good times.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah,
It's a lot here, Michael.
Yeah, I rambled there.
No. So back to you disappear when you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Do your friends get mad at you for like falling off the map?
No. Like my friends from Cape Breton, I think they just get it and they're like, I don't know. I haven't heard from them. We'll see.
Okay, so I was right with
I usually if we bump into each other, it's usually fine, like and everything. It's just kind of all my friends are distant friends right now.
But that's fine with you.
Not really. I need to make some friends. Like like I said, I don't have the urge to go. It actually feels like a pain in the ass if I were to be like,
you need
like
a friend
sometimes
planner.
Cass will be like, you should ask this guy to hang out. It's like, what am I going on a date or something? Like,
Oh my God. You need someone to initiate these hangouts.
yeah, it's weird. It's like
And make it
it's like
easy for
asking
you.
someone to be your girlfriend or something. Like, you want to be my friend? I think I even like texted Chris like a year and a half ago. Like, I need a friend. Do you want to be my friend? He's like, sure, buddy. And then I never messaged him to ever hang out. He never messaged me, and that was it. And I never want to speak of it again. I kind of regret bringing it up right now.
No, that is so. I actually think that question.
It's very vulnerable.
But it should be we should normalize that question.
It sounds like a child on a playground, though.
It does, but like I know with me, like when I ask people to hang out outside of comedy, that's kind of my way of saying, "Do you want to be friends?"
Yeah,
Not
in a
that
way.
not that I don't see like.
It's the subtext. It's like, do you want to come up for coffee? Like, yeah, we're gonna bang, but you're saying, oh, do you want to just hang out? But secretly, the underneath is, I want to be your
friends.
friend.
Yeah, I like you enough to see you outside of.
There's no point to this meeting.
No point, other than just to enjoy each other's company, kind of thing.
It's just a weird thing to ask. Probably easier for straight women than straight guys, I feel like.
I mean, here's the thing. I tend to get along with men more than women. So it would be awkward for me to be like, hey, Chris left. Do you want to? I can't even say it because it feels weird. Get a coffee? Like, yeah, no, that feels weird. But like, if I was like,
but
hey,
if there was three people, it wouldn't be weird.
Right. If I was like, hey, Chris and Albert.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
would be less.
That then takes it.
Three's a crowd.
Right.
Romantic possibilities.
By the way, guys, fuck you guys. I'm not asking you that. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I enjoy both of you. And I will go on record to say that I would gladly hang out with a lot of people if they asked. I'm down for hangs.
Yeah. Give us a message, anybody. We want friends.
DFH.
What's that?
Down for hangs.
DTH.
DT down to hang. This was another random one, and I think this is just a fact, more so than an assumption, that you aren't obsessed with your phone, because it did take you a full day to respond to a text of mine once.
What? Really? That's surprisingly quick for me, actually.
But you said it earlier. You're not usually on socials, so you're.
I have a few meme things I follow on Instagram. I scroll through when I'm taking a shit at work, and I send it to my girlfriend, and that's the extent of my social media.
Yeah.
I like watch YouTube, so whatever garbage that algorithm thinks I want, I eat up. But
on your phone?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm addicted to hearing people talk. Like, I can't be alone with my own thoughts. If I'm cleaning the apartment, I got to put on a podcast or a long video. If I'm falling asleep, I put on a long video of something I barely have interest in so that I can like kind of pay attention, kind of not and fall asleep.
I don't see that as like you're not like someone who's scrolling Instagram or like.
I missed the boat on getting addicted to social media. I wish I was, because I would have more things to talk about on stage. I want to like be involved, know what's going on in the culture. I think that's important for a comic, but like I'm a fucking boomer. I have no idea what the kids are doing.
You can make jokes about that.
Yeah, how far can I go with that though?
I'll tell you what the kids are doing.
Fingering each other on the school bus.
They use a lot of code words on TikTok. So, and I think that this is because someone needs to clarify this for me.
Because the Chinese government has lots of spies.
I think it's like a thing where if you say rape on TikTok, like you'll get taken down. But instead they say R4P3.
Oh yeah. Well, there's YouTube's like that too. Like they have AI that will just pick out like naughty words like that. Like these guys I watch, Abba and Preach, they got like their own shorthand for saying the bad words. Like if they want to say racist, they say like racist.
And like
They like put a little thing on it.
well, everything's an abbreviation now. So whenever I see someone's TikTok and they have an abbreviation, I have to Google it every time. Like there's SA for sexual assault.
I didn't know that one.
Trigger warning TW.
I would know that one. I am kind of on board just from word of mouth and YouTube videos.
But there's a bunch of them. But there's also like I mean, like there's just all these like abbreviations that I never fucking know. And sex is segs.
Wait, TikTok will like demonetize you or ghost ban you if you.
I think they take down your videos,
sex?
or they take down your videos, or they like ban you from posting, or like
For saying, but everybody isn't the like point is to like do sexy dances for half of them.
Yeah, but you're not supposed to say it, and it's weird because like I mean I have stuff on there that
That's not very sex positive.
I have podcast clips on there that haven't been picked up yet by the Chinese government. So I'm
Did you
safe
hear
so
the
far.
news today? They're like pissed off because Nancy Pelosi went to Taiwan.
Saw that? Yeah, that's wild.
Every day there's something like, oh, this is the end. Like when I said, I don't go on social media. I don't pay attention to the news at all either. But
okay.
like I saw like a clip from a YouTube video because YouTube videos acknowledge the news sometimes, and that's usually where I hear it. It trickles down to like somebody talking about it there.
Right.
And like when I found out this heat wave that's going on here was like the whole world, I was like, oh shit, is global warming here already? Like when do we kill ourselves? Like I feel like
yeah.
I know that's kind of a dark place to go, but
Existential dread.
a little bit. I'm like, I don't know if I want to be here for the apocalypse.
Because that's weird. Because when I was thinking about you today, I was thinking back to like our first episode, and I recall your outlook on life, like you were talking about stoicism and stuff. And for some reason in my head, I was like, I don't think Michael has existential dread.
Oh, I thought I had it all figured out because I read half a Stoic book. I haven't picked that up since.
But you do have existential dread. You think about those things?
I think, yeah, I got like, I got anger issues, but I don't get angry at people at all. It's all existential. So like if enough bad things happen to me in a day, I'm like furious at the universe. It's weird.
But I just showed, before we put on the podcast, I showed Michael a photo of the universe. And
I didn't give it the middle finger.
You can't tell me that thing cares about you. It really doesn't.
No, but also it doesn't bother me.
We are on a rock in space.
That doesn't bother me for some reason.
Yeah, right? It's so like it's strange because my anxieties are very large scale, but they're all around my own mortality and death. But when I think of things like, oh, a comet is gonna collide into Earth and we're all gonna be dead in a day, I go, oh my God, thank fuck, I'm not gonna miss out on anything.
Yeah. If it was just a comic, you kind of do want to be here when it happens.
It's more comforting to me that it's taking us all out and it's an equalizer.
Yeah.
Versus my anxieties are like, someone's gonna break into my apartment and kill me. I'm gonna get hit by a car.
They're all victim-y.
They're all about like I'm not gonna find love. They're very like large scale, but all around me.
Yeah.
But when I think of like global warming, like obviously that's very scary. Things so far out of my control.
It's less scary.
Maybe a little bit.
That would be quite the friggin' to be haunted by that kind of anxiety would be really bad because it's nothing you can do. At least, I'm going to be alone. You can make steps to change that, but
I guess on the total fucking flip side is like I'm a doom scroller. So I start my day with like plane crash videos. Like that's how I'll open up my I'm following an account.
Healthy.
I follow an account that just does plane crash simulations of actual plane crashes that have happened in history.
Oh.
And it'll tell me like the victim count and the cause of plane crash.
You just watch the plane go down.
I also am I follow a lot of like school shooting stuff. Like I go down that. I choose to learn more. I choose to go down that road because for whatever reason, I think knowing more is better than not knowing.
I don't really see the logic in knowing. Like, if something tragic happens, I don't see the point in getting myself upset unless, I guess, you could give money, but I don't know. Like, it confuses me when people are so hungry to know about things that are going to upset them and they can't do anything about.
So you'd rather not know?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay, interesting.
Like, I'm going to sound like an asshole, but like, I when shootings happen and stuff, I'm not really that phased.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I'm a sociopath.
Listen, but no, well, you're not.
They happen a lot.
You're not, but like it does. It's so far away from you. I think that.
Yeah, I go.
That's probably why.
Not me.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Like
But then, yeah.
I think
the one happened here that like hit a little different, but.
Well, yeah, and the thing is, I think what changed it for me. Well, actually, I've always been a little bit, morbidly curious and fascinated with just the psychology behind it and like how this happens and all of this. Like Columbine, I think was the start of it for me, and then all these other ones or whatever. But I always tend to like want to learn more about it. But like when the mass shooting happened here, that really fucking like made me go, yeah, it can happen.
Yeah.
In our own city.
It was like insanely unexpected.
Dude, fucking fucked, man.
But like I still never read news about it. I just only talk to people who have and like only get things word of mouth.
Right.
It's kind of fun sometimes, like when you don't know anything and then everybody gets to be like, you never heard of this, and they're excited to be the one to tell you.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
So you know the basics, but that's it. That's the extent of like what you want to know.
Yeah, like I heard of the slap when it happened. Like I know the basics. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere between like I know stuff that like your parents would know a little more than what your parents would know, but like not nearly as much as what a young person my age should know.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm so obsessed with stuff like that. I'm just such a fucking doom scroller. Like, don't get me started on 9/11.
I dated a girl in high school, and there was a one mentally handicapped person pushed their other friend who was mentally handicapped off the curb, like waiting for the bus, and his head got ran over by a bus.
Oh my god!
And like popped like a watermelon. And like,
my god!
She wanted me to go and see it. Like she wanted to go see it, and we had like a huge fight because like I don't want to see this. What is this gonna add? And she's like, she got really mad at me. She's like, what are you doing? Like I want to go. Like keep going.
I think once it enters real life territory for me, that's when I would probably put a boundary up.
Yeah,
I think because I see things like on YouTube or like through a screen, there's like a level of like safety there.
Yeah,
like I'm not that connected with it.
If there was a big if there was a terrorist attack downtown, would you want to go? You would want to go look at it after the aftermath if it was safe?
No, but okay. Here's the thing. I think my high anxiety and my weird obsession with these bad events is making me more
anxious for no reason.
Of someone who can use my anxiety probably on my side in bad situations. For example, I was walking with a friend the other day, and we just randomly started hearing guys shouting really loud and arguing. Okay, I did not miss a beat. I was just like, "We're gonna go this way now." And I instantly was like, we need to get away from this situation because when men yell, I just get freaked out.
Oh, yeah.
I get my instincts are very quick, I think, because I know about all this bad shit.
Yeah, but I think I would be jumpy like that anyway.
Some people aren't, like my friend wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The other thing is like crossing the street. I am the friend that will put my hand out to stop people from crossing if I see a car coming. I'm just like, whoa. like
it's
that's
very
just,
motherly.
It's just like, I don't know, I'm on high alert is what it is. All the time.
Did that change when you were on Wellbutrin, do you think?
That's a good question. I wonder if it's linked to that. Because, I mean, going on it, they do say it does increase anxiety. And the first 2 weeks that I was on it.
Is that like a temporary thing? Because I thought
temporary.
that was... Yeah.
Temporary.
Okay.
It's like a side effect of like when you're adjusting to it.
Yeah.
The first 2 weeks that I was on it, I had crazy like heart palpitations and felt very strong anxiety, like impending doom. And it happened to be the week that Derm died.
Yeah.
And that like increased it a lot.
I'd say.
It's gone away though, but no, I honestly think I've always been very on high alert all the time.
Yeah, maybe your chemicals are imbalanced then.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. Fix them up.
But yeah.
Get those meds.
Back to assumptions about you. Holy shit. We gotta get through these. Okay. So I said you're the type of person who would never let the waiter know if something was wrong with your food.
These are all spot on.
Am I right?
Yeah. Actually, I did for the first time ever, like last week.
Were you proud of yourself? Did you say it really nicely?
Extremely nicely. It was insane. I gave a mediocre tip and I felt like shit.
Oh no!
Well, we went to I won't throw the place under the bus, but we went to like a 4 money signs on Google place.
Ooh.
And it took like an hour and a half to get our food. And the steak I asked for medium rare, and it was medium. And then I was like, "Did I say I wanted that medium or medium rare?" And she was like, "You said medium," and I was certain I said medium rare. So I was like, "I guess it's the waitress's fault, so less of a tip." But I've never done this.
You never really told her though. That was passive aggressive.
What do you mean?
So
I said I ordered a medium rare steak, and she misheard me and gave me a medium.
Oh, I thought
so. I wanted to make sure, like, if she took it as a medium rare, then it's the chef's fault. But if I said medium, or she took it down as medium, then it's her fault.
But what if you had said?
That's the worry.
I had asked. What if you were just like?
I might have been like medium rare. Like I
actually asked for medium rare. Can you take this back?
Wow, I don't want to do that. That's too Karen-y. I can't.
Let's don't get too crazy.
Yeah.
And my other assumption sort of ties to this, which is I just said you get stuck in acts of kindness. So like I can see you as somebody who would like help an old lady cross the street with groceries, but then end up like walking her home, or like you're too nice almost to a part where like you get into the niceness and then you get stuck in the niceness. Am I right?
Too nice to patients. I always leave late because I do too many little favors, and then I have to stay late to chart and stuff.
I'm right.
There's that.
So you're too nice.
Yeah. All the other nurses are like, you got to sit down and chart in the day. But I was like, there's too many things to do. Everybody needs something. And then I never do it. And I always leave at like, I'll stay for like an hour and a half late. Or like an hour late is average for me. Average. For me to stay an hour
But
late.
it's not necessary, right? It's
That's after.
you're choosing to.
Well,
go
I'm not
above and beyond.
choosing to. It's not. It's just you get stuck. Like, I'm just bad at time management. I think I'm ADD'd out, and I can just barely get everything.
I'm actually,
done
I
correctly.
totally fucking feel that. I also stay usually a half hour after work to catch up on things because I feel like I might have been distracted during the day, or I feel that. That's like definitely an ADHD thing.
Yeah, I'd like to try out some Ritalin, but I don't got a doctor, and I don't know how to
you
do anything with the healthcare.
Well, I mean, there is a doctor in Dartmouth who does ADHD assessments.
Isn't it like $1,000 though?
No, you'd have to. You don't need a family doctor to refer you. You would just have to see a doctor, walk-in clinic or whatever.
Yeah, that's all too much work.
See, this is the issue with ADHD. The fucking mental illness makes it impossible to get help.
That's probably why I don't have friends too.
It's just like it's always working against us. Those were my assumptions about you.
I assume you cry at movies easily.
I don't actually.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I think it's because I cry too much outside of movies. Like, my big thing for crying is just really anything that has to do with like a sick animal or a dying animal or a Rainbow Bridge TikTok of like, this is a dog's last day. Instant tears. Instant. But like, if it was a movie about, like if it was like Marley and Me, yeah, I'd cry.
Why aren't you on human side? Like, why are you picking animals over us?
Because I'm lonely.
People die too.
Because I don't have a lot of human connections.
Okay. But you have a lot of animal connections? You got one cat.
I got one cat. She's the best, though.
You're living vicariously through Whitney Cummings.
She's a dog person.
She's like she's got like, doesn't she have a friggin' zoo or something? She's
Whitney
like all
notoriously
into...
doesn't like cats. She's trying to. But she notoriously doesn't like. She's a dog bitch. Dog bitch.
You're racist if you pick favorites on cats and dogs.
Fair
They're
enough.
both
But
great.
that's because you're a cat person saying that.
I'm not a cat person.
Yeah, you are.
I have cats because I have an apartment that I can't have dogs in.
You're a cat person.
No. Well, I
think
guess
you're a cat
I'm both.
person.
I'm a cat and a dog person. I don't like the dichotomy.
I think if
It's
you
like
were,
the tit and ass thing. You shouldn't pick
I think
favorites.
if you were more a cat person than a dog person, you are more like cat people are accepting of dogs. Dog people are not accepting of cats.
Really?
That's what I find.
Yeah.
Usually if
like, if
someone's
you're
a
a super
hard-
dog person, you're like, oh, they're snooty. They don't care. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. People think because they want.
But dogs
a
are
pet.
better.
They want a pet that fucking is needy and needs them and is loyal to them. And with a cat, you have to earn their trust. You have to earn everything. And they don't fucking need you because they're independent creatures. But to me, I go, when that cat does snuggle up against you, that means more. Than a
I think
needy
dogs
dog.
are better. I think needy dogs are better because they're
Too
like
fucking needy, man. They're like toddlers.
they I meant
They're loyal.
I meant to say they 9 times. They identify they them pronouns. No, they evolved with us. Like they were wolves and now they're all the breeds of dogs because
You could say the same.
they're
with cats.
symbiotically evolved. I don't know if cats are as much like that.
Cats are fucking cold-blooded killers. Cougars and fucking stuff like that. Like they're crazy hunters, and they've also been domesticated. Like whenever I look at Mindy, I just go, "You're a little mountain lion."
Yeah.
like your cousin is a mountain lion. That's wild to me.
It is. What are the big dogs? There's like wolves and hyenas. Dogs don't get nearly as badass.
I think wolves are pretty badass though.
Yeah, but a wolf couldn't fuck with a lion.
No,
I don't
this is
think.
the thing. So cats, cats will go for the jugular.
That's what I like about them. They
Wild-
do it. A bear will just eat you alive from the ass first.
Like they are just like they just aim to kill. Dogs will like eat like wild dogs will like eat a deer alive and not kill it right away.
Yeah, but they're also like, I'd rather be a wild dog because they got those social connections. I think that's a little more interesting of a life than just prowling around by yourself, big dick, swinging dick through the jungle. Like whatever, you're the top.
Fuck, maybe that's why
They're
I like
like-
cats because I'm lonely. and
People
they're
should
also
hate
lonely.
lions. They're like the white straight rich men of the animal kingdom.
and they
They got all the power and privilege.
and they kill little lions.
Yeah.
Animals in general are. Yeah, it's pretty wild when you can look into like different animals and like what they do, and how ruthless nature is. Truly ruthless. All right, so we're gonna get into the rant segment. I keep forgetting about my own segments
I didn't hear the music the last segment.
because it's in post.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I could technically.
Do an impression
Play
of
it.
it with your mouth.
Actually, wait, rant. Did you say just do an impression of it with
yeah,
my mouth?
just do a little
I feel like I forget my own. This is the rant. Okay,
Sweet. Am I the first person who heard that live?
I think so.
Yes.
What is your rant?
Okay. All right. I'm pale as shit, and every time there's a time when I got to take my shirt off for the summer or something, everybody's got to point it out. Oh. They got to compare their tan fucking arms to my pale arms. Look how pale you are. And yeah, I get it. You can make fun of people for their appearance or whatever, but like I'm just sick of it. It's so repetitive every time.
Who does this to you?
Everybody.
Like just anyone who's not as pale
Anybody
as you?
tanner than me, which is everybody.
Yeah, I remember one time I was at a lake trip with my friends because I'm also quite pale. I
Yeah.
feel like you and I are very similar. in skin
Probably,
tone.
yeah. I thought you might relate. Oh, we're doing the thing. Look how much tanner I am than you.
We're very fuck off. We're very similar in skin tone. One time I went like on a lake trip with a bunch of friends, and I was in a bathing suit, and my friend just yelled from the beach, "Sarah, get a tan."
I can't. I don't know about you, but I could get a burn and then that's it.
Yeah,
but like,
it's hard.
Isn't it supposed to be rude to like point out someone's skin color? Like that's a taboo thing. If it was anybody else.
I would agree.
That would be like very insensitive.
This is
if you're like, look how dark you are. Yeah.
It's paleism.
It is. It's overlooked, but it also doesn't matter as much as.
It certainly does. I was literally just thinking, I'm like, what's the worst that can happen for us? We go,
There's no historical oppression. Like it's insensitive for the same reason, but it does not matter as much, which is weird. I feel weird complaining about it, but I'm playing the race card. Don't make fun of me for my pale skin.
You're playing the
skin card,
skin tone card. The
basis of skin. That's like the thing.
If I could afford self tanner, I probably would do it.
Nah.
For this reason, not to go much darker, but just some color, just to feel like I'm not dead.
That's blackface. Don't do that.
Self tanner?
Yeah, in my books.
Just like a skin tone up from.
No, not really. But like I have a weird. I don't want to do it. I feel like it's lying. I wouldn't want to do it.
And it also stains your sheets.
Yeah. And you're definitely going to fuck it up in some spot. You're going to have a weird splotch on your neck or something.
Sometimes I will put like the Sally Hansen, there's this thing that this is just called Sally Hansen legs is what it's called. It's like a spray. It's like leg makeup to like airbrush your legs, make them look more airbrushed, and they kind of give you a little bit of color too. So I'll do that.
Do you have to do that every time you want your legs to look nice?
Yeah, mostly like
that's a lot of surface area. That sounds expensive.
It'll last like until you shower again, kind of thing.
Because like enough makeup to fit on your legs, you could fill up your face like 7 times.
It's
you'd be going through it like crazy.
It lasts a lot. It's I like it.
Not for me.
But I on that subject, I have a similar rant, which is when you get burnt and people have to point out your sunburn like you don't know.
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
People react so huge. Like I'm
oh
used.
my gosh, you're burnt.
Like, oh, now it hurts because you pointed it out, you fucking asshole. I was fine until now.
Why do people think that we don't know?
Sometimes you don't, if it was brand new.
Maybe it's if it's on your back, but like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's just like, that's something that makes me mad.
Yeah. Yeah. They love being the one to see it. I think they're really hoping you don't know.
What do you respond to when people point out the paleness?
I just go, yeah.
What can you do? This is what I am. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm not going to go, how dare you? My people have been, no.
Yeah.
I've just been pale and it's fine. And people are going to shit on it.
Well, I feel bad for men because for women, we have people like Dita Von Teese who like made porcelain skin, like the Snow White porcelain skin, like really beautiful because she was like a burlesque model. So she always did like the super dark hair and like the red lip, like very classic beauty. Like she made being really pale nice, but I don't know if men have that.
Yeah.
That version.
It might be more disgusting on a guy. Nobody says tall, pale, and handsome.
Tall, pale, and handsome. So true. That's a good rant. That's a really relatable rant. I feel that really hard. Again, we are stressing that it is nowhere near as bad as anything.
But it's like it's skin color. That's supposed to be an off-limits thing. Very rude.
It is. I don't like it when people sigh when I say I'm straight.
Oh, really? What do you mean? Like people think you're not?
Yeah, a lot of people think I'm not, apparently.
Yeah.
This is a new thing that's been coming up lately. Like friends, like people I know have been like finding out that I'm actually straight and they're like shocked.
Because you're too hip.
I don't know. I guess I think it's because it's rare to be straight these days. Most people are either bi
Probably not like if you looked at the stats, but there's definitely more because it's more acceptable. So there's going to be less people not wanting to come out.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. All right. So we did the rant.
It'd be weird to see like if we really truly were like completely open society, no homophobes left, like the ratio to how many gay people there are to straight people would probably change completely.
You think it'd be more gay?
Yeah. It'd have to be.
Oh yeah.
Because there's, I mean, the social pressures are getting less and less.
Yeah.
And if we were like went on like this for 40 years, eventually it'd be completely gone, and then there'd probably be way more gay people than now.
That's true.
Because there's still people in the closet now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That wouldn't be if things were different.
For sure. And bisexuality is like far more like popular and like accepted, and it is true that like a lot of my female friends are bi. Like there's not many female friends that I know of that are like purely straight.
Yeah.
Count them on one hand, honestly.
Do a lot of them come from outside of Halifax?
No,
Maybe they're coming from
over.
rural places and then they want to be
over.
where it's more liberal.
All over.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's cool now.
It is not cool to be straight. It is no longer the norm.
No.
It's just not.
It's like a knee-jerk thing to be like, sorry, I'm straight. As a straight white male, as a straight...
I did that at Foggy's. I opened with my first word out of my mouth because there was a lot of like LGBTQ people in the show, and like the crowd was really loving the LGBTQ stuff. So for me and my dumb head, I just went. I was just like, I'm straight, and I kind of said it like give it up for me, and like I said it in that way, and
it's very brave of me to come up after.
Yeah, and they laughed. And then
not used to being the odd one out.
And then I was just like, but I'm a straight woman, so it's different. I was just like, it's hard for us, okay? And then I went into the demisexual stuff, which is like, I'm straight, but I'm demisexual, so I'm technically on the rainbow.
There you go, that works.
I'm technically asexual, which I guess you could say I'm asexual, yeah, but I'm still straight but asexual. Listen, everything is complicated and nuanced. Okay, let's get into the third segment. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
No. Yes. Do we have weed still?
Ooh. Do you want to light up a joint?
Yeah.
You try. Good luck.
I only got it because he said good luck. Nobody even died since I was on last, so I can't even make you cry at all. My mom's still alive.
That's so funny. Hang on, I gotta cut this. This is really driving me crazy. Look at that! That's done, right?
Just bite it off.
There we go. Okay, so we are now smoking weed. All right, let's get into it. So we are going to get into the deepest segment of the night. What's wrong with you?
It might be evident by now. But I'm really, really, really talented at finding problems with myself and then doing nothing about it.
You're gonna nail this subject. Oh, so your what's wrong with you is that you just don't do anything about the things that's wrong with you.
Yeah, and I just keep collecting better and better ways to describe how bad I am to myself.
Have you tried a spreadsheet?
No, I wouldn't. I'd get 2 minutes into that and do something else.
Have you tried a habit tracker spreadsheet? I'll send you the template.
You could. I might do something.
So you don't try to improve.
No.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't get around to it. I'm not very motivated. But
That's a great.
I can intellectualize everything I'm doing wrong and just like beat myself up over it.
Got you. So do you know what, like when you find something wrong with you, do you know what the root of it is?
No, probably not. Like when you say you're all anxious about like things happening to you,
Yeah.
I'm more anxious about like I'm going to ruin my own life and no one's going to feel bad for me because it's my fault. That's like my biggest fear is like I'm going to do something, step out of line. My biggest anxiety is people are going to be mad at me. Which is like a horrible thing to get into stand up with.
That's like people, like you're a people pleaser.
Maybe like like I'm really easy on other people. I'm very like ready to see other people's point of view or their side on something and empathize with them. But I will find the worst interpretation of things for myself.
Gotta treat yourself like a friend.
Yeah, which I don't.
Yikes.
Yeah, this is very therapy.
No. I like
therapy.
I love it.
Big time.
Because this is like such a common thing with comics though. So many comics have that. It's this like need for validation all the time.
Yeah. It'd be really cringy if we are all like this because it's like in the zeitgeist. Like, what if I'm just romanticizing the like depressed, anxious comic and like subconsciously I'm putting myself through all this shit just to like prove to myself that I'm one of the real ones. Maybe. Like, I wonder if comics romanticize the mental health side of it.
I think they do sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that I have this segment on the show.
Yeah, I guess.
Is kind of me contributing to that, right? Because I'm like, tell me why you're fucked up. I mean, I guess people have had different answers to that.
But everybody has something, I guess.
Everybody has something.
Non-comics included.
But the fear of making people mad would probably... I mean, everything is connected to childhood. That's the insane thing about it. So, like, did you have parents that were, like, super, like, wanting you to succeed all the time? Like, were they, like, did they have high standards for you?
No, not really. It was all pretty good parenting. I can't think of a bad parenting. Like,
yeah.
Sister and dad died. We went over that, but I don't know why that would make me worried about people being mad at me. They were never, not even close to abusive or harsh or stern or anything like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. You think I'd have like abandonment things maybe, even though dying isn't really abandoning, but maybe a stupid kid brain would see it that way.
Or maybe it's because you lost a sister, and because you lost your sister first, right?
Yeah, so I was like 4, so that would have been like really crystallizing personality because you're like set by 5 years old, so that did something.
I was gonna say because like 4 is really young, but like if you're someone who like lost somebody and had to keep it together for the family or had to.
Well, nobody's looking to the 4-year-old for like emotional stability.
Right? Yeah, my theory is out the window now that I'm you're 4. That's too young.
Maybe the dad side.
That's too young, but it's also you're right. It's one of those ages where it would impact, like you were just old enough for it to impact you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But I don't know how. I need to pay a professional to figure that out.
Would you ever is that something you want to do?
Yeah, it's I don't think it's covered by my job, but I just did some Googling and like 150 to 250 an hour is like, and then I'd have to do it probably a couple times a week for it to work, and it's just, I can't justify it.
Oh, not a couple times a week. You could go weekly.
Weekly. Oh, I meant that. I meant a couple times a month. Right, I wouldn't want to do it weekly.
Right? Weekly. Can you imagine 3 times a week?
Oh, God, yeah.
I'd love it.
It would be good if you could pay for it, I guess.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do you find that you're someone who's quick to apologize all the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I don't really if I'm in a fight like with my girlfriend or something, they kind of all end with me like flogging myself for everything I did wrong, and like I always eventually just end up like caving and like taking her side and then taking it even further, like, no, it's even worse, I'm a piece of shit because of this, and I'd like add to it, and then it's kind of selfish and shitty narcissistic, because then even if I was wrong in those ways, like now I'm making my girlfriend make me feel better for being wrong, which I've happened a lot in relationships. I get like if I do something wrong and get like, and it has whatever effect, and then I end up beating myself up like 50 times more than the girl does, which is like super annoying for them too.
And then it makes her feel bad for you.
Yeah, which I'm also paranoid is kind of might be my subconscious goal. Like maybe it's like, oh, get out of it by getting like sympathy. I'm paranoid that my subconscious brain is doing that.
Oh my gosh! I mean,
so like then I feel like a annoying like piece of shit for feeling so bad about doing the shitty thing I did, whatever it was.
And it's just kind of knee-jerk response to do that.
Well, like if it's actually like a fight, then it'll be like a back and forth where I think I'm right for a while, and then at some point I'm like, wait, no, I probably am wrong.
Right.
Like I go to I'm probably wrong pretty defaultly, but sometimes if I hang on and I'm fighting my own and then I realize I'm wrong, I'm like, oh, and then I go all in on myself. Like I would fucking piece of shit. But I need to like actually stand by my points and like, yeah, I'm one side of the argument. I deserve to get a few licks in. Yeah. But at the same time, yeah, it's good I'm accountable, but I'm going too hard. I'm just like beating myself.
Which is not necessary.
Yeah.
That's like
almost more irritating, I think, than if I was just like, fuck you, bitch, and close the door, and then we got over it in 3 hours.
Yep.
It might be a little more normal.
That reminds me a lot of like my second boyfriend, second of two, that like he had a drinking problem, and anytime we would get in a fight over his drinking, he would freak out even more and get like that, but like to the extreme of like running, like walking around drunk on Citadel Hill, telling me he was going to kill himself.
Oh, if I was an alcoholic, I'd be doing that shit.
To which point I would then go, oh, well, don't worry. I will keep buying your dry ice every day.
That's codependency.
Because I don't want you to kill yourself.
Yeah.
So fucking unhealthy. But like, be glad you're not on that level. I mean, at least you're aware of, you've processed why these things happen. And like, that's kind of a first step.
Like I said, I'm good at finding my flaws. And then I just don't do nothing about it.
Well, I mean, I think that could also be tied to the too nice thing, right?
Yeah. Wait, how?
Because if you are instantly going to beating yourself up rather than going, I take accountability for this thing I did, but also like,
you did this and this.
But also like, even just the act of just not beating yourself up further is like standing your ground in a weird way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like not making it worse for yourself would be a way of standing your ground.
Yeah. And I don't even like how this is kind of painting my relationship as like, we don't argue a whole lot, but I'm just, this is an example of one of the things I'll do.
Right. Yeah. It's just been so, like, I haven't fought with someone in so long. Like, it's just such a weird, like, it's weird for me to think like 10 years ago, like a decade.
The worst fights, and I think it's most of them, it's so annoying. It's like not even about anything substantial. It's just like fighting over what you said in the fight you're already having. I like, you said this, I didn't like that, and like, that's not what I said it like this. No, you didn't. You said it with this tone and like this, and then it's like, we should have just recorded it, and then we could have gone back and ended this whole thing.
Benefit of dating a podcaster? Maybe.
Yeah, but you'd have to be like, we're starting to butt heads here. Let's turn the mics on.
Let's press record. But with Neuralink coming out, maybe that'll solve all the issues.
Just telepathy?
Yeah. Like, honestly, though.
That's creepy. Because the Neuralink people would be like on like such another level. They'd be basically a different species. They'd be Ubermensch. They'd be better than the rest of us.
But like, imagine there would be like no more fights because you would just know what the other person meant. But maybe it would also cause way more fights because you're going to know more.
Yeah.
About somebody.
Yeah, you'd be like, well, you were thinking about this woman, but I also know why you were thinking about this woman because blah, 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 blah. And then you'd just be like,
and then
a romantic comedy of two Neuralink couples would just be them like staring at each other, smiling. Like,
yeah, you freak, you're a freak too.
Yeah.
Like,
I know you want a finger in your ass. You're too afraid to say it.
Cassandra will finally know how, just like that porn subscription, how much you've been thinking about it.
I wasn't thinking about it a lot. I just felt like I hadn't been interesting in a few minutes when I brought it up. And I was like, I'm throwing a Hail Mary. This will pay off later, but be paying for it.
I think the beating yourself up over things is very destructive, and that is something you should learn to stop doing. Practice. This is so, I sounds like a fucking cheesy Instagram. Like, I don't even know. I hate how I sound sometimes.
Practice self-love.
But like, no, like forgiveness.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. I hate saying this, but like literally the act of like writing a letter to yourself. Example time. On Sunday, it was a really nice day out. And on sunny, like summer days, I always feel the pressure to have fun and go outside and enjoy the sun. Instead, I stayed in and cleaned, and I did my spreadsheets, and I got a bunch of like housekeeping stuff done. And I said, I'm going to forgive myself for doing this because I need to do it.
Forgive yourself for cleaning?
Because normally I would beat myself up over not going outside.
What? But you cleaned your apartment.
Right?
You're
I know.
so much better than me. Like, this is what I would do. It would be like I had 3 days of hell at work and like I'm burnt out as shit, and then I have 5 days off. So great time to like do things and be in the world. I never see the sun. I go to work before the sun comes up and I leave when it goes down, and then I squander my days off. I haven't done anything this summer just because I haven't done it. I don't know. I just play video games all day. I'm not interesting. I don't know what I'm doing on a podcast. I don't know what I'm doing stand up for. I got nothing to talk about. That's another thing with stand up and nursing is like I never want to do material about it because I don't want my identity on stage to be like nurse. Or you kind of want to trick the audience a little bit that you're a pro comic. Even though I know they know I'm not, but like, if I have a bunch of my greatest bits are about nursing and then like I'm a pro comic one day, it's going to have to all be I used to be a nurse, I guess. But like,
I thought about that recently on Sunday.
Nobody talks about their job on stage here, I don't find.
No, not really, eh?
I think it is that like comic mentality of like, I want to be seen as a comic.
I feel like I could tap into that probably pretty well because comedy and podcasting play well together. But I thought about that the other night when I saw a comic doing crowd work. He was essentially going around asking all the audience members what they were. Like, what do you do?
Yeah, that's the most classic crowd work question in the world.
And I was like, if he comes to me, should I say podcast producer or comedian? And a part of me just wanted to go right to comedian, even though like that's not what I do for work.
Yeah.
But it was
you identify more.
It was a
as
knee-jerk reaction to go, comedian's the cooler thing. Even though podcast producer's pretty fucking cool too.
Yeah. I would definitely say nurse and then feel in the back of my head like, I'm one of you, man. I'm a comic too.
Right?
But I wouldn't feel right saying it because I don't make any money off it. I have $20 actually framed in my apartment from the first time I got paid doing comedy. I want to get I don't know if you can get a $20 tattoo. I might have to get a big tattoo and then give them $20 on top, but I want to get a little money sign and be like, that's 5 years of comedy paid for that right there. That like a tiny.
Listen, you, if you stuck with it, you'd have more money. Just be consistent.
Yeah.
And don't leave comedy. Don't ghost comedy again, Michael.
There is a global pandemic. I would have killed a whole building full of people. I want to kill, but not like that.
That's fair. We're all doing our best. It's not an easy thing to do when you're working full time. Like I feel like the ideal situation for comedy is to have a part-time job.
Yeah, I fantasize about having a part-time job. Like if my girlfriend's hairdresser career kicks off, then I'll be like, hey, I paid rent this whole time. Like, let me go part-time and pay for shit, and then I'll be a comic.
Right?
Let me do it.
Would you? Okay, so I need to ask then: is comedy something you want to do full tilt?
Yeah, like nursing is something. If push comes to shove, nursing's going away, and I'm gonna be poor and being a comic. I'm trying to make it work, being like keeping my head above water financially because I'm so inept with money. I don't have a savings. Like
Yeah.
I see on TV shows and stuff, people are like, "Oh, I'm at rock bottom. I only have 700 in my checking." If I
Oh
have 700 in
my
my
God.
checking, I'm like, "Whoa."
You are speaking. Yes, I had a friend. We were both talking about being broke. Oh, this week I'm broke, and she literally said, "I only have $5." This was a Monday.
Yeah,
She's
that's so hurtful.
I have $500 left for the week.
Sometimes I'm happy to have zero and not negative 300.
Thank you. Yes. No, but I'm with you though. I am also paycheck to paycheck. Like the day before payday is like a $10 day. Like
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
truly. It's really fucking hard. And I also have like a shit ton of credit card debt that's keeping me down. It's like the black dog on my back. That's why I did the spreadsheet stuff, because I was like, I have to get better at this money shit. And,
Yeah, I
like,
know.
I like know where my shit is going, and I try to have like a fun budget. Like I did a lot this weekend, so this next weekend coming, I'm not gonna do anything, or I'm gonna do it very cheaply, like not cab, not drink, like
Yeah. All my money just goes to like skip the dishes and shit. Like I don't even know where
Yeah.
it goes. I think most of it goes to like credit card interest.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm so dumb.
But listen, like Uber
that
and skip
mean-
the dishes are like that's a big one. Big
It's
one
a
for me
huge
too.
one, yeah.
Because
But-
it's so much fucking money.
That's
for
what's keeping me
convenience.
stuck as a nurse is the paycheck to paycheck thing with this good money I'm making. So if I had a shittier job, like I
would be worse.
I would drown. Yeah, I'd be
worse.
fucked. So like, but if it wasn't like I am way more wanting to do comedy than nursing.
Right.
To be real.
And if you are going to Travis Lindsay extent of wanting to do it, the amount of work you have to put in is insane.
Yeah. And it would be like, it would be impossible to do that.
And it's a long haul.
I'd have to go part time or do something. Yeah.
It's just
I don't
like
know.
it's
I
just
don't know how
a-
it's gonna work.
But it's a long, like, I mean, if you look at, there are comics, like, even in this scene that work full time and still work very hard in comedy.
Like I'm already kind of old for a comic.
How old are you?
25. Like to be
Fuck off.
I mean to like, because I want to be like when you're in your mid 40s. That's like when you hit your stride as a comic. So I
think?
I think so. Yeah. Or like you get better and better, but like I think like. Yeah, when you see a comic with like some graying hair, you're like, okay, we're in for some good shit here.
Is that the same with women?
Yeah. Why not? Why wouldn't it be? More experience equals better.
I don't agree.
What do you mean? You
I
think
don't
women
know,
are better when
man.
they're young?
Yeah.
You think they get worse as they get
No,
older?
I don't
They're-
think that. I think
they just get better.
I think society
Oh,
has
yeah.
a little bit more of a age cap on women than men. I also am like,
But wouldn't you think it would be society would be more likely to find an older woman funny if they're young? They're going to be sexualizing them and be distracted by that bullshit and judging them
maybe, but
like Jen Kirkman. I think was like my favorite female comedy special for a while.
right.
Oh, she'd be pissed if I'm like calling her old, but like I don't know. She's like.
Well,
If you're older, you've got more years under your belt. I take a comic more serious when they're old. If they have confidence, otherwise they might just be an
I
open
think
micer
there
who
is.
started late.
You're right, though. There is a weird advantage to that life experience thing and the perspective thing. And like, I started at 33. I think that's fucking old to start comedy.
It is old to start.
Thank you for fucking like agreeing with me. It is.
Well, I can't.
It is.
I can't lie to your face here.
I
I'm
know.
talking about being anxious, being 25, and not actually being like super in it. And I've been
Yeah.
nursing has been like keeping me from it. And
Right.
So like, I literally am like, I just want to like move to a big place where there's like club time all the time. Like I want to give it a real honest shot. I don't care if I make it or not. I just want to give it that I tried my best, because I have been like trying my best to what my wavelength can handle.
Do you pre-book mics?
What do you mean by pre-book?
Do you like book ahead? So like month of August, do you make sure you're doing?
Yeah, like I just
Mics on your days off?
I just sent out all my requests for August. So like
good.
August is
So there
got
you go.
a bunch of sets. Yeah,
I think you can still do quite a bit here in Halifax.
I know.
I
but-
get what you mean though. To move to a place where you're like in a pressure cooker,
Yeah,
where it's like there's so much.
I want to go where like there's the pros are there, and I will be like a fucking mollusk compared to them on the hierarchy and work my way up there. And
Another thing I'm just gonna say, and I'm not gonna try to be preachy to like other comics, but we as like budding comedians need to take advantage of yucks more. Going to yucks on the weekend when you can to watch the shows, because comics can go for free. You don't have to pay to go in. You just you go right to the back.
Yeah, I got to do that.
And I see it as night classes. So going, showing up, watching the headliner, watching the feature act, watching even the guest spots, because eventually you'll want to do a guest spot. So like, I think that is something that is like so valuable. And like, yes, like, I mean, there's only 2 clubs here. I guess 3 with Dark Side now. But like, it should be taken advantage of more. There's so many weekends I go, and I'm the only comic just going to watch. And I'm like, this is night class, bitches.
I wonder if I'm very scared that I'd get there and be like, I'm a comic, and they'd be like, are you? I haven't seen you.
Just like message someone you could message. Like, I mean, I go all the time. Find someone to go with. Or like, go on a weekend where you know the person on the show. Like if you know Albert is on, or if you know Halef is on.
I like how you call Chris by his last name and Albert by his first name. That would be weird if you were like, oh, you know, if Coombs was on.
Coombs. I mean, I guess I could. Coombs.
It kind of makes him sound more legit.
It is a cool last name. But you know what I mean? Like, I mean, there's ways to work on comedy without doing it.
Yeah.
You know, like, I mean, I don't know, like, what your writing process is. So many people like to write. I've never been someone who... I did it a lot when I started, but I don't really like writing groups now. Or, like, writing with people.
I've never done it once.
Yeah, it's strange.
I sit in a chair for, like, many hours on end and obsess. Like, I will cram, basically. I'll spend, like, 8 hours to prepare for one set. I overdo it.
For jokes you've already written?
Yeah.
What?
Even just to figure out the order or like where the new
8 hours? That's
where the new stuff's gonna go. Maybe a little bit, but like multiple.
You spend time on it.
Way more than necessary. I think like I have myself convinced that like if I spend enough time on it, it will go well, and that usually is the case.
Yeah, there you go.
If I spend like an exorbitant amount of hours on a set, it will go well.
You know what? I got to give that to you because that is my issue. I do not put that work in, and it shows. And it is... I have the opposite problem where I'm doing sets all the time, but I'm not preparing.
Yeah. My way is not sustainable. It wouldn't be like you should be able to be flexible and be like, I'll do this, and this, and kind of like go up and go with the flow. I'm just so fucking rigid. Like I'm starting to realize why I'm bad. And I'm calling myself bad. Like I do okay.
Yeah.
Or better most of the time.
No, you're finding your weaker points.
I'm proficient, but I don't think I'm a good comedian by any stretch of the imagination. I can get laughs. That's where I'm at.
But to be a good comedian takes a lot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I know.
we have to take, like, we as new comics have to take the pressure off ourselves because it is like this.
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun.
It is supposed to be fun, but that's the thing. Once you start getting looser.
Yeah, I'm treating everything like it's the Tonight Show.
Once you start getting looser, you will start having fun. Like.
I'm having fun. Like I feel like I'm like a first time comic here, and this is a comedy class or something. But it's yeah.
If you do legit,
I know what you mean.
I'm very honest in saying a lot of times I don't find it fun.
Really?
Yeah, I'm very honest about that.
Even if it's going well, are you just more stressed than having fun?
I don't take light in.
What do you mean? If it positivity?
I don't. If like a joke lands really well and get a good pop or something. I don't really take it in because I still have not killed in my mind. Mm-hmm. I haven't had a kill yet. So that's my thing. Like
the set didn't go perfectly until the whole thing has gone perfectly, and then you can be proud of yourself.
Yeah, maybe something like that. Something like that. But I just don't. I have a high standard for myself, and I know I'm not where I want to be. But I also know that I'm not trying enough. Because if I did prepare before sets, if I did go over jokes, like if I did just even reciting, like you talking about reciting,
Yeah.
I don't do that anymore. I used to do that. Like, you remember me when I started? I used to fucking practice all the time. I don't fucking do that anymore. Like, my practicing is on
It's
the
probably
stage.
good. I recite a lot, but it's probably not great. You get a little robotic, but I just need that reassurance so that I don't get too anxious.
The happy
that I
medium
know there
right
is a
between us.
yeah.
It's right between you and I. It's prepare, but don't over prepare.
Sometimes, yeah, you over prepare and it doesn't go well, and there is like a sweet spot where it's like, oh, I only got this much time to like do my rehearsing bullshit, and then it actually goes better because I was
Right?
restricted a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, even though I know this, I've known all this stuff, but I'll still do it.
Yeah.
Because I'm like superstitious almost.
Yeah. I think that every comic, and I think Travis described it as like, I don't know if he described it as a click or like he said that like something happens with a comedian where all of a sudden like they're very comfortable in their voice, they're comfortable on stage, and everything just feels very like natural. And like everyone, you know, if you work hard, you will get to that moment. But like, who the fuck knows when that will be? But yeah, I think as long as you're having fun with it, just have fun with the process. Have fucking fun. I don't have fun. That's my thing.
I don't have fun the entire day leading up to it. It's
And then you get on stage and you're like, this is great.
stage, almost the funnest part is the retrospect, the night after I'm off stage, and if like even if it didn't go great the whole time, if like I got something new to work, then like the fun is just being happy about that for like the next few days. I'll be charged up over like,
Yeah.
oh, I got this to work. I changed this joke and it worked better than before. Like if I have a couple things that I'm experimenting with work out in a set, like I'm like on top of the world for like a few days.
You ride the little highs, like the little highs that you get from this.
Oh, it's huge. No,
Yeah,
it's like an
yeah.
antidepressant for like for like many hours.
I haven't felt that in so long.
But
that's
when I'm on
what's so sad.
stage, the laughs are just like I just feel relief. Like, oh, I feel like I can breathe out. Like it's not going worst case scenario like I thought it was possible, which it is always possible. But
That's
once
always a big
once
win.
it's not worst case scenario, I'm relaxed.
That is always a huge win.
I always do the best if like you're shitting your pants thinking you're going to be horrible, and then right before, like once the comic before you's on, you're like, oh, I just want them to shut up so I can go on.
Right.
And then
you're
you get like really like
Yeah.
can't wait to get on. Like I just want to
Yeah.
get this out already.
Yeah, that's great. That
But
is
then
a great feeling.
all day before that, you felt like a phony fraud piece of shit, and you're gonna do horrible. It's gonna go bad. But then after like enough hours of working on the set, I'm like, no, this all makes sense. This all adds up. Like I'm good to go. That's like the perfect night for me.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. It's just an insane thing to do.
I feel like I took all my credibility away from myself this podcast.
No, you
I
didn't.
just
Not
like
at
was
all.
like, here is
No, you-
everything about why.
No, you're showing that you care about the fucking art. I feel like I don't care enough sometimes. That's my issue. When I was in college, I took just like general arts, and I took a drawing class. And my professor was like, "You are really good at drawing if you just focused on it."
But if you don't care about drawing,
And
it's kind of
that's-
just a wasted talent that you have. And so what? You don't want to do something that you find boring? If you found it
That's-
boring, I don't know.
That's how I feel about comedy, though. Like, I feel like I don't care enough to really put the work in off the stage. I do tons of sets. Like, I've done almost 130 sets in 2 years, including lockdown.
I think that's so weird that you're counting them all.
It's just because they're my phone, right? Because I record everything.
Yeah. Like,
So I just start numbering them, and I just haven't stopped.
so like you take a recording of the set and you just name it, number,
Yeah.
whatever. Oh, I guess, yeah, that would work.
I record
that's
most
pretty
of my
cool.
sets. I mean, I've missed a couple, but like, if I'm like video filming it, like I won't audio record it. But like,
Yeah.
so I just kind of start numbering them, and I haven't really stopped. The number doesn't matter, but I guess what I just mean is like I've been doing it for like I just had my 2-year anniversary, and close to 130 sets, and that's including all the months that we were locked down and didn't have stage time. Like I've done a lot of sets. And
Do you think you're just not like,
but I don't do much outside of the sets. Like I don't like the writing is kind of sloppy. Like I kind of write on the go.
on the go, like on stage. You're
like an
on
idea will
stage.
come to me like when I'm out in the street and I'll just jot something down on my notes.
Yeah. All those things I jot down on my notes, that's things that like when I'm sitting down to write, like come up with new stuff, I scroll through my apps and then I'll take those ideas and like
And flush them out.
mold on them. Yeah.
And that's what I don't do.
Oh, well, that's a lot of people's process. Like that's what Bill Burr does. He comes up with a premise, goes on stage and just riffs. That takes a lot of balls and a lot of like performance chops.
I don't even really riff. It's just I have a fucked up process. I just like I've been feeling sloppy lately, and I know that I have to put more work into writing, and I also know that the issue is that I'm not inspired right now.
Right? Yeah.
I'm just not inspired because I'm doing a lot of work. Like
and if you're not going to talk about your work, it's like what I was saying earlier. I felt like if I didn't want to talk about nursing too much, I still not sure if I want to talk about it on stage too much. But like, if you're not going to talk about that, that's kind of a big bulk of your life. Like that's all I'm doing is going to work and hanging out with my girlfriend. So a lot of my material is like my girlfriend and I did this. My girlfriend did this. It's a lot.
That's great and relatable because that's.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so many comedy shows that are. Like,
it's not like about relationships either. That's one thing I could do. I could kind of take some of Chris's territory a little bit.
But you're still.
But I got a different angle than him.
You have a part of your life that you're living. I'm alone so much of the time, so it just feels very like so much of my writing inspiration comes from like past experiences or
I know you're digging in the well.
And then you realize I haven't even gone on a date in a year. What am I doing?
I do think after that year and a half that I was off in the pandemic, I was probably, I think, the worst I've ever been at comedy right before that.
Right.
Like, it's probably around the time we were on the podcast too. I just had the lowest opinion. I hated every material I have. Like,
you were on fire then.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe a little bit after that, I fizzled out.
Yeah.
Like in being inspired.
Right.
But I do think that there is benefits to taking gaps off.
Yeah.
Like you kind of come back and like when I came back, it was like, well, I haven't done it for a year and a half. This is a clean slate. So like the first 7 minutes I did was a brand new 7 minutes. And like, that's a crazy thing. Like nobody, like it's a very rare move, I think, to just be like, I'm going to come with 7 minutes of brand new material. Like it's something most people say like, that's stupid, where it's all I had because I was coming back from such a break.
But you were excited about that 7 minutes.
Yeah, I was excited about that 7 minutes. And then that's where I was excited about those 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, that's where I can connect more if I'm excited about it. So like I've been doing a lot of like, who gives a fuck? I got nothing to lose. I don't have any material. So I'm just going to throw a bunch of new material. And also I've always had the mindset of like, I'm an early comic. So whatever this material is, it sucks. So I don't want to like cling too much to something that is like the joke of an early comic. That's probably not that great anyway.
I also think it's okay as new comics to go, it's not going to be the best, but it doesn't suck. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I think
at some point, if you do, like, if you're not that proud of it, you should try to grow out of it. Like, use it until you don't need it anymore.
You will know if it sucks. I don't know which pro told me that. Who the fuck said that? Was it Jordan Foisey? Someone on the podcast was like, if you have a brain in comedy, you will know when a joke really sucks. If there's something there, if you are getting nuggets, it doesn't suck. Maybe it's not the best.
I hate just having anything in the set though that's like, this is a placeholder. I don't feel great about it, but I gotta fill this minute.
I think like so much.
I'm so quick to ditch material.
Yeah,
I throw material out so easily. Like I should give them more of a chance.
Never throw it out. Keep it in the joke book.
Yeah, lately I've been going through the arduous task of cataloging everything I've ever done. Like I have a folder. I just barely scraped the surface, but I got like all the notebooks I've had, like all this 5 years, even all the breaks I've done when I haven't been going on stage. I've always been writing, so I got like just tons of shit that I gotta like sift through. I'm going to be like, I can't just say that everything I did before was shitty because like I was getting laughs years ago. It was working. I might still use some of it.
How do you organize your jokes? Is it all in physical paper?
It's all physical.
This is what I started doing. I have Google Doc, right? And so I have like categories here. Tried and true. This is tried and true stuff that I know does well, right? Brand new. So like these are like brand new jokes that I'm working on.
It's similar. I got kind of like a table of contents written out on my physical version with kind of similar.
But I fucking
like this is what works. This is short. This is stuff I didn't do yet. Like I broke it down in all these categories.
What I love about this is like I just make a copy of this document and I go new 7 minutes, or like when I was doing guest spots at Yucks, I said 10-minute Yucks guest spot, which should be your best. Actually, no, this wasn't even guest spot. This was when I opened for James Mullinger.
They do 10-minute guest spots?
I did. So I was technically.
Is it normally
get
5?
ready, comics to get mad at me. When I opened for James Mullinger, I got technically paid as a middle.
For doing 10?
I was supposed to do 10 to 15. I did like 12 or 13 minutes. I didn't quite do a full 15.
So why would comics be mad? Because you're like too early to get that?
Far too fucking early.
Yeah.
Far too fucking early. And
I
listen,
middled for
and
Scott Belford once. That was the best set of my life. Did 26 minutes. That was my crowning accomplishment. Yeah.
26?
It's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. It was really good. It's probably the best set I ever had.
Oh my God.
A couple of years ago in Sydney.
I did not see that as a legitimate middle. Like, I just want everyone to be clear of that. I did not see it as that. I saw it as like a very much so a high pressure guest spot where I had more time. That's how I saw it. Because I don't see myself at that level. But essentially, I was given this amazing opportunity to like really do my best fucking stuff. And I'm confident that I could have done 15.
How'd it go?
Good.
Good.
Yeah. I was happy with the James Mullinger weekend. I did well. But again, I'm going to go back to it. I just don't take in the light.
So it's not fun while you're on stage.
I don't know, man. I'm not present yet.
I think, that's a big part of it. I'm not present either. I'm thinking about my jokes, but this is like my approach and priority going forward is to connect with the audience is my like number one thing I want to work on now. Like, I'm going to just go up with way less material, give us some breathing room just to like look at people.
Yeah.
Which sometimes it's hard with the stage lights and stuff, but like, it
so
still
hard.
feels like you're being looked at if you're.
And that's why Yucks, like my first 2 guest spots, like my first one was good, my second one sucked. And that stage has always scared me because I can't see the crowd. But the James Mullinger weekend, what was great about that was I finally felt I did well on that stage that used to scare me. So when I walked away from that weekend, I went, oh, I'm like actually legitimately like proud of myself. But I still in my head, I'm like, I got so far to go, so much to work on, gotta get so much better. Like I just have that like new comic, like going back to that new comic, like I suck, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah, I guess a guest spot would be really scary. If I didn't like how I did on a guest spot, that would be like torturous. I'd be like, I need another one to redeem myself so bad right now.
Right. And so like when I got asked by James to open for him, I was just like, oh fuck me, I have to like really rise to this occasion because like. I felt like I had something to prove. And
of course. Yeah, well, that's like guest spots.
And I think that
you do have something to prove. That's the point of them.
But anyways. But yeah. It's so much. There's so much to stand up. It's so taxing. But of all the hobbies I have, it's the most taxing.
I love it.
I gotta say. That's good that you love it, though. Like, I think that is key.
I didn't even realize, like, how much... I love it until I came back and like it's so lifted. I don't even want to. It made me less depressed, but I think if I actually did like a DSM-5, if look at the criteria, I don't think I was depressed clinically. You could say a lot of people. I think the word is a little looser.
Oh yeah, big time.
Because like you have to be like. Lying in bed for days, like you have to have major changes in your life, like if you want to get technical about it.
Depressed people can't go to work.
I had depressed traits, I guess.
No, people get depressed, but like clinical depression to be diagnosed with it is takes a lot.
It does, yeah.
It takes a lot because like on my psychic assessment, I was really like going for depression. I was like, I'm going to walk out of this with a depression diagnosis. And she explained, she's like, you have insanely depressive episodes, but it's because of the ADHD and anxiety that like overwhelm you and throw you into these. And one of the most, I gotta say, psych assessments are really eye-opening, because one of the things that stood out to me was like, on the treatment plan, it was just like, none of the above will work if she does not have emotional supports in her life. And I was like, ooh, that hits hard. Because she recognized that like, there's stuff I can do to improve ADHD. There's all this, but the fact that, because a lot of what I talked about was like being lonely, not having friends, not feeling like I had emotional supports. I'm not close with my family.
I don't mean to scare you, but like the patients that do the worst in life are the ones with no social supports.
Yep. Emotional supports, right?
I'm talking more social supports.
Oh,
like when your health is declining, and if you have nobody, like odds are you're gonna be stoic, and you're not gonna do anything about your health and let it decline. Like
big time.
People need people to even have the will to live.
That's right. We're not supposed to be
and like
alone.
It doesn't mean you're suicidal, but you're gonna neglect things you need. Yeah. If you're like isolated.
Yeah, and isolation like makes you aggressive. Like
it's probably like the worst thing mentally for humans. That's why the solitary confinement. I think it'd be more humane if prison guards just beat prisoners. I mean, they do that too, but like. Yeah. I'd rather get beat than solitary.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Like just seeing that written, I was just like, that is eye-opening to me, because it's really saying like this area of life needs more focus. Having like emotional, like, and I know that I have friends. Like I'm not gonna go out here and say I don't have friends. I do, but
I said that earlier.
But like
stand by it.
But like I don't have anyone to hug after a really good show, or like. Like I've done many like milestone comedy moments with no one there to support me.
Isn't it depressing like when you have like the night of your life and like you made a whole room of people think you're hilarious. Like it's such a good feeling. You come home to like an empty apartment, it's just quiet. Yeah, it's exactly. Like it is like a big post-mortem depression moment.
It's a moment because you go, what's all this for?
Yeah, like what was the point of all that? Just because it was fun, and it's like I feel like this is building this up higher than just I had a fun night in my head. But but you did do more. Like you made an incremental improvement. You validate. You're more confident. Like there are all these benefits, and it was all for something. But
exactly.
you don't get a big check, and you don't have groupies coming home with you. It's not like a big exciting glamorous thing, even though. You did do something kind of glamorous, like if you kill on stage, whatever small the scale is, it's pretty cool. It's a cool thing to do.
It is a cool thing to do, but you gotta have people in your life that I don't know.
But those quizzes, though, they do. When I was the most depressed I've ever been, I did one like a depression quiz, and it came back like mildly depressed, and I was so disappointed.
Isn't that
I was
so
like, I felt like such a drama queen. I was like, I'm thinking about killing myself all the time. Like, it's gotta say immediately check yourself into a psych ward, and then it's just like you're fine. You could get a hug from your mom. You'll be fine.
It's a premise of a very early joke I had, which was like, there's no mildly suicidal option. It's either like you are or you're not.
Yeah.
But like Rosebud Baker, who's like a great comedian, said it so much better than me. She's like, I'm not suicidal. And it's like, it's so frustrating when you see a pro like say it so concisely.
Put in perfect words.
She was like, I'm not suicidal, but I'm not fighting to live. And I was just like, that's exactly what I'm trying to she's like, if a bear was chasing me in the forest, I would do a light jog. Like it was just a great joke. It was just so perfect. And it was just like a similar idea. But
was that in her new special, or was that her Letterman thing?
I think it was her Letterman.
Yeah. I feel like proud of myself for knowing about Rosebud before
I know
before she blew up.
Oh, me too.
I knew her from the Amazon Prime documentary series. Did you see that too?
What was it called again? I think Corinne Fisher was
it has the most generic name ever. It's just like telling jokes, laughing, something. I don't know. It was a bunch of it was like
Inside
a few
jokes.
Inside
jokes.
It was a couple of comics from New York and LA, and then you watch them all try to see who go to New Faces.
Yes.
I saw her from that. And
I knew her before that.
Ooh, you beat me. But I feel cool because I never heard anybody talk about that show.
I knew
and
her.
then Rosebud's famous all of a sudden. I was like, oh.
I fucking love Rosebud. I'm a longtime follower. I discovered her because she was a guest on Guys We Fucked podcast, which has been around forever. But then I started following her, and she did a podcast, Justin Bieber podcast. Anyways, yeah.
But she was a nobody in that documentary.
She was. Yeah. She's killing it.
I guess you beat me there. You heard her on a podcast or something? Fuck, I thought I was at ground zero.
If we look at when Inside Jokes came out, I can almost guarantee.
I don't know when I watched it. Whatever year it came out, I wouldn't know when I watched it, though.
This is the most hilarious argument. We should clip this and send it to her.
We're just competing over who heard of her first.
You know what's wild? I message her we talk on Instagram sometimes.
Yeah, I heard you talking about you just shoot your shot at these comics and you get answers. That's
because I've I
bet that wouldn't work for me in a male comic.
So here's the thing. I'm just
you guys are supporting each other.
Well, I'm just very bashful about if I am watching her special, I'll take a picture and tag her, and then she'll repost it, and then at that point I'm in her approved messages. So if she, what was it? It was she posted a reel, and it was about Roe v. Wade, and the reel was just essentially we have to start having anal sex because it's the only way. It's the only way now that Roe v. Wade is overturned. And I reposted it with I spit out my Red Bull at this. It was so funny. And then she wrote back at least you were drinking the right drink for this moment. And I was just I just love Rosebud so much. I just love that famous comics are still very down to earth people who will just respond to a stranger.
Yeah.
On Instagram.
I don't know. I find that surprising though. Rosebud maybe because she's newer to fame, but you get the same thing from Whitney Cummings and Nikki Glaser and Taylor Tomlinson. You ever do that with her?
Not Taylor, no.
No.
I do like Taylor quite a bit, but
she makes me so insecure. She made a special quarter life crisis. I'm the age she was when she put that special out, and I'm so frustrated. Oh, you're having a crisis? You're putting out a special. You're a fucking headlining comedian. You're living my goddamn dream, and you're having a crisis. I'm the same age as you. Fuck you. I can live with someone in their 30s or 40s doing a special, but a 25-year-old, I'm no, you're breaking the rules. You're supposed to be bad like me.
Right? But that's but you're still very young. You're 25. Think of me at 35.
I know.
Bitch.
I don't know how you do it.
It's hell. Well, but there is a moment of why. But I really do go, why am I doing this? Best case scenario, I've been doing this 2 years now.
Yeah.
Maybe at 40, I will start to get really, really good.
Yeah, and then you can headline, and that's...
And then I'm a 40-year-old woman.
So fucking cares? You're a professional comedian.
I don't think I want to be a professional comedian.
Okay, well, if you're saying you're headlining, you're making bank a little bit.
But
here and
might
there.
have. I don't know, guys. I want podcasting to be my thing. That's where I really want to excel versus comedy. It's hard. Comedy's hard. I just really like money, okay, and success. And I think it's actually more. You're more likely to get success from podcasting than.
Yeah, definitely.
At this point, I hate saying that.
Well, I think most professional comedians nowadays are actually professional podcasters. They're probably making more money. No, that's not true. The podcast is selling their tickets. Maybe Joe Rogan makes more money from podcasts and stand-up, but...
The two marry very well together, and more comics should have podcasts. And Dan was right when he said I went about it backwards because I was trying to be a podcaster and then I became a comedian. If you are a comedian and you start to do really well, develop a fan base, and then have a podcast, that podcast is more likely to do better. I went about backwards.
No, it's just...
I did.
A different path. I don't think it's better or worse. Why is it worse?
It's worse because it is harder to get someone. Okay, how am I saying this? If you see a comic you like a couple times at a show and you enjoy them quite a bit, you're probably going to subscribe to their podcast, right?
Around here, in real life, I don't know. I don't know if there's
the
famous people.
The podcasts you named are famous comedians.
Yeah, but I don't like Ari Shaffir probably has my favorite podcast. He doesn't have my favorite comedy. Like I like his I liked his stand up, but
you discovered him probably through.
I like his podcasting more. I
just
discovered him for being a guest on Joe Rogan.
Okay. I just think it's harder for me to convert. I don't know. It's just a strange thing. It's I don't know. I mean, I guess I had comics as listeners before I even was a comic.
Yeah, they're probably mostly.
And now I'm like, oh, here I am as a comedian now.
You built this.
It's just weird. It's just it's a weird thing.
You like embedded yourself into the scene.
Well, it's great because do you know Kyle Carpenter? Have you ever met him?
Yeah.
The great and powerful.
I don't know him very well, but yeah, I know him.
He's great. We had a great chat after he hosted Yucks, and I did a guest spot that night, and we had a great chat afterwards. And I was just like articulating to him. I was like, I never felt like I could be a shitty comic. And he was like, no, you haven't. Ever since you started, you had like a pressure on you. And then he worded it perfectly. He's like, but you put that on yourself. That was not put on you by anyone else. It was in your head. Like, because I'm friends with comedians.
But the audience doesn't know any of this. They don't know your backstory.
So it's all on me.
Yeah.
It was a prison that I put myself into of I have to be good. I have to be extra good.
Is that for the other comics though?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what we started the podcast with. You talking about how you're very worried about what the other comics think because of that.
Yeah.
Because it's such a art that bonds us all together so tightly. We always want to like impress her, and that was me when I started. I was like, oh my god, like I know so many comics. I've been to so many shows. Like I can't be bad. And my dead friend who died said that to me. You've been doing this too long. You've been doing Intoxicated too long. You can't suck.
Yeah, you can. You can suck.
I know, but this is my dead friend saying this to me, and so I held it with me.
He probably didn't mean those words to be so impactful, but he went and died, and then they inflated their meaning.
It connected with me because I was like, that makes sense because he was such an influence on me. And then he said that to me like January, and then he died in March, and I started comedy that summer.
Yeah.
And for whatever reason, him saying that really stuck. Fuck you, big cat. Wherever you are, you're probably down here, not up there.
He's looking up at us.
But like, yeah. But that actually take that as a compliment, big cat, because it means that I love you so much. I took the words to heart. Too bad. But like Kyle saying that really fucking, I was just like, that is so true. I put myself in a mental cage and I gotta break that shit. Fuck this. You know, like.
Yeah, you don't gotta
like
worry about being worse. Yeah, you're whatever you're at. You're at where you're at. It doesn't matter.
Where you're at.
Doesn't matter.
I want to write jokes that I like, that I'm proud of, that do well. That's my goal.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna keep it as simple as that.
I want to be able to like pick a topic I want to talk about and just be able to write jokes about it instead of just being like, well, these are the topics I happen to come up with jokes about, so these are the topics I have to do. If I like, that's the goal of like, that's like when you're a really good writer. It's just like, I want to talk about abortion. Now let's sit down and write some Roe v. Wade jokes. And then an hour later, you got some things to try. Like that's a real writer right there.
It really is.
I'm more like, I thought of this idea, and then that kind of fits with this. Let's stitch them together. But if you can just like build them from whole cloth, that's like.
I've been doing the milk every premise thing. Yeah. Which is like my crutch, I feel, because like I like OnlyFans.
I feel a little trepidatious about doing that. I don't want to like over tag things and make.
Well, it's not. You don't even have to over tag things, but like my OnlyFans, like I have 1,000 OnlyFans tags, but like I don't do all those tags every time I do that joke.
Yeah, you know it's a pacing thing. Like you could use some of them sometimes and not other times.
Exactly.
But I like a quick pace if I'm doing short jokes.
If you had to do a longer set, you could do the whole thing. You do a whole chunk.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like my thing is like my goal. Listen, we are like 2.5 hours in, and if any bookers are listening, I am ready to fucking close out an open mic. I have 15 minutes, so feel free to ask me whenever.
Oh, I love 15 minutes.
I have enough material for 15, for sure.
That's one thing I miss about Sydney is getting to do 15 more frequently.
Right?
Yeah, those are great. I feel like I was in my stride when I was in Sydney. I don't know if it was just a mental thing, like, these are my people. This is where I'm from. I'm fine. But I had more confidence there. And then Clifton had to start doing comedy and become like the greatest joke writer ever and make me feel insecure.
Oh, shout out Clifton Cremo.
I was
Hope
there.
You hear that, Clifton. Oh, he's probably listening.
Yeah?
On probably
Think
a
he made
long drive that he's taken right now.
Really? Right? No, not right now. Is it live?
No. But I guarantee you when he listens to this, he'll be driving.
Why is his job a driver now? You
No,
know him
but
better than I do.
He takes a lot of long drives.
Yeah.
He'll drive from like Cape
Well,
Breton.
I saw him post a friggin' date for BC. Oh God,
It's a bunch of tour dates.
God, he makes me hate myself. Because like I was there when he first, I watched him his first night, and it was just now he's soared above like
Everyone has
Halifax comics. I think
Everyone
even
will get there when they get there. Everyone goes at their own pace.
Clifton's just gifted.
Some crack earlier than others crack. Some are also given maybe things happen for them too early and then they're forced to be better. Some just suck. You know, like it's
No, Clifton's like Dimitri Martin. Did you ever hear of Dimitri Martin?
I know Dimitri.
He instantly, you know him, first name basis. Apparently he instantly like got famous. I hear Bert Kreischer talk about it a lot. Like they started the same night and they started together, and then they were friends, and then all of a sudden Dimitri was just like
Blew up.
he blew up because he broke everything down so mathematically. He like knew every comic style of joke, and he knew exactly like what style he was gonna have, and like he just broke it down like with like equations almost, like this and this and this, and that's why this punchline will work. It all adds up. Like he was just like a natural.
Shit. I mean, people say that about Schumer, that she kind of got
Really?
same thing, that her success kind of happened.
Did it come fast?
Kind of. I feel like out of nowhere she kind of came out of nowhere. And was
When did
everywhere.
she?
Like she had like 2 years of like superstardom.
Yeah, it started with New Faces, I think.
When did it start? That's a good question.
No, that's Montreal. I don't think it was that. Last Comic Standing. She won Last Comic Standing.
She also had the Inside Amy Schumer show, which is where I really discovered her. It was like a sketch comedy show.
That's probably when she was first taken off.
That was when I became obsessed, and then she did specials, and I loved her specials, and then she did movies.
She's very influential.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, for sure, and I'm loud and proud about that. She was one of the first female comics that I was like obsessed about, and she also like inspired a lot of the comics that I became obsessed about, like Nikki Glaser.
Yeah.
Like Nikki Glaser came from like the Schumer school of comedy kind of thing.
Well, would she have started when Amy was just getting big, or would she would have already been doing it for a little bit?
Yeah,
She
Schumer took her under.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Okay.
like Nikki was like in a bunch of like Schumer's like
She was like
shows and
was
stuff.
like the one female comic of the time, I feel like.
Yeah, it was sorry, I'm just laughing at. I posted this picture of the universe with the caption, "Remember that this thing doesn't care about you." And then someone wrote back, hurt people, Sarah."
Someone give him a shout out.
Ryan William, who's actually I'm recording with a week from today.
I'll
He's
watch
the guest after you.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Who have been we met at a sex party, so it's going to be a
Oh, really?
wild ride of a podcast.
He's gonna follow. I don't know. He's gonna follow this. You trying to validate me for 2 hours about how I'm actually.
Okay.
Don't worry. You'll get there someday.
I had a great moment on the podcast that I couldn't post. Oh well, maybe someday you guys will hear that, where I therapized real good and I nailed it. Okay, we're gonna get to the last segment because this is like ridiculous. We are 2.5 hours in.
Yeah, these are hurt my ears.
Yeah, they're hot.
I haven't felt this since I played like online video games for hours and hours.
I'm so sorry.
I don't even socialize on video games. That's how antisocial I am.
Or are they just hot?
No, they're like getting sore, but I'll go. I got a Rogan length again. Here we are.
Okay, here we are. Okay, so this is the last segment because it is the most controversial. It is for the true trooper listeners. So Michael, what is your unpopular opinion?
Don't hate me for this, but it's time for an unpopular opinion.
I'm not brave enough to actually have anything controversial or edgy. So I'll just do, well, most people when they answer this, they are very safe. I want to criticize your guests in the past.
They are.
Everybody's very safe.
No one has come on here and gone, COVID's not real.
Yeah, it came from Wuhan.
Ladies can't get abortions.
No.
You know, like, I don't like minorities. Like, no one's like, no one fucking clip that out of context. I will. Oh my God.
It's happening now.
Okay.
This vabbing thing I heard about the other day.
Oh, I know all about that.
I think the knee-jerk reaction to be is like, that's disgusting. What are these freaks doing? I think it sounds pretty hot and it would probably work on me. Because I love eating pussy. I'm the people you hate in your joke. I'm very vocal. I love...
Hey, listen. You're saying... So, and we got to fill people in what vabbing is. Not everyone knows. And
putting pussy juices on you.
You put the pussy juice on your neck and you wear it as like perfume.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And there's science behind it because it's like pheromones and it's supposed to make you more desirable to men.
It's probably like negligible.
So apparently I've had pussy juice on my neck for a long time.
Why? You've been doing that already?
Oh wait, no, that didn't work, Sarah. Fail. Fuck.
I'm glad it didn't work because you screwed up and not just because it went over my head. I was about to be really embarrassed.
No, it should have been the other way around. If it made you undesirable, I've been having pussy juice on my neck. But it makes you more desirable, which means
that's the theory.
I haven't been vabbing, so maybe I should vab.
Also, people are too hard on foreskins. There's a bonus one.
Too hard on them? What do you mean?
They're calling it extra skin. It's not extra. It's the standard issue factory human being amount of skin.
Factory default?
It's the factory default. If I was into women with no arms, I wouldn't say, look at all these disgusting bitches with the extra arms.
That's funny. Write that fucking down.
I have had it written down for a while.
Okay,
I just never tried it yet. I tried it out on you for the first
the arms
time.
thing is really funny because it's so ridiculous.
I actually workshopped that one with Cass and her parents at her cottage. We were talking about my uncut penis together and the customs of whether or not to do it. Apparently, my mom wanted me to be snipped, but the doctors wouldn't let her, which is, I think...
Did she say why?
Because they're always changing their mind on whether or not they think it's a good idea or not.
I was going to say, because, okay, whenever this topic comes up...
Do you ever have a joke about how foreskins are gross? I feel like it's
because my first boyfriend, who I lost my virginity to, was circumcised. Right? So that was my introduction to
So you thought they were normal, and then another guy came, and you traumatized them for life.
No, ever since my first, they've all been uncircumcised. So,
You know how to pick them. Or maybe they just don't do it anymore as much.
I don't know. Like, I hear women talk about, circumcised guys, but I don't see these circumcised guys.
Well, and to be fair to the foreskin haters, like, all the porn I've watched and everything I've seen as a nurse, the foreskins are generally disgusting. And I think I just got a really good one.
I feel like, how fun. It's like a little surprise.
It's a surprise. So that means it is more rare then. How can you...
No, it's like it's like a hard dick that's like not circumcised. It's like it's making its magic reveal. Whereas like circumcised,
yeah, but then when they don't actually ever reveal, that's when it's...
Oh yeah, that's when it's sad.
But I do feel bad right now because I know there's probably dozens of guys who have that and now they feel shitty about themselves.
No. Let's be frank.
They're not washing it good enough?
All penises are great. But,
Okay.
but you think uncircumcised should be more appreciated.
I think it gets too much hate.
It gets too much hate.
I think it's a very...
Yeah.
Like, I'm almost even afraid to say this because I don't know if anybody has any jokes about how foreskins are gross, and I don't want to be calling them out as a hack right now. Like, I don't know if that's a thing, but I think it's a very common stance comedically to just call them gross.
Right, because of schmagma.
Schmagma is pretty nasty. I clean schmagma off people.
It's just the word. I can't picture it.
I don't know the actual word for it. I think it might be that.
But vaginas go through some gross shit. So like I can't sit here and squirm over schmagma when like yeast infections are a thing and fucking there's some nastiness that happens.
Yeah, you gotta clean your dicks. You gotta clean your genitals.
Apparently not. Hot water only. No soap.
I did hear that. I think I did get an infection once, and I knew it was from that because I wasn't having sex or anything. It was before that age, but I would use the two harder soaps. You get rid of your natural flora or whatever. I thought that was more of a pussy prob, but dicks can
too.
get it. Yeah, dicks get it too. Get rid of the oils. I think it might be a foreskin issue actually.
So don't clean your dicks. Don't clean your pussy.
Yeah, I had a guy. I talked a guy down once because he said like he had these dick symptoms, and then he thought maybe his girlfriend was cheating on him. And I was like, "No, you're just using too strong of a soap." Like I put on my nurse hat, but really, I didn't learn that from nursing. I learned it from experience.
That's okay.
It
doesn't matter how you learned it. You learned it.
I learned it,
and you're changing lives because of it.
Yeah. Wash your dicks.
And I mean, I still let soap run down. Even though it's not needed.
What? Like that's how you wash? You just let soap go on it and fall off it?
Apparently you're not supposed to like get up in there with soap because it's bad for you.
I don't know. I don't know what you're supposed to do. We're talking about genital hygiene. What do you mean?
I'm already a 35-year-old woman, been single 10 years. I listen to Joe Rogan and I own one cat. And now I'm saying I don't wash my pussy. I'm really putting the pin and not being dateable at all.
You let soap fall down over it.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I mean, I guess.
Go.
I learned you're supposed for pH, soap and water is like all you need.
I assumed that all women just
hot water is all you need.
Just hot water.
Yeah.
I assumed all women just had a special soap, like a gentle cleanser, ivory stuff. There's like gentle soaps that are unfragmented. Fragmented. That's not it either. Fragmented. Fragmented. Is that a version of fragrance that you can use?
I don't know. That's funny. Yeah, no, I could see that being fine as long as it's not like strong and scented and shit. And there is Vagisil cleanse like soaps.
Yeah, Vagisil, right?
Yeah. There's stuff like that.
I would put that on people.
I don't buy that unless I'm getting laid. What's the point?
Yeah, really.
What's the point? I'm not spending that extra money.
I never washed my pussy. Oh no, that's actually true. I got a kitten and she's never been washed all her life.
My cat hasn't been washed either.
Nice. Mine's named Shirley.
8 years.
Ooh.
Mindy.
They clean themselves. It's fine.
She's so clean, and that's the thing. The second I would notice, although I do get scared that she won't know what a bath is, and maybe I should just do it so that she knows what it is.
Too late now.
Do you think?
Yeah, she's already 8.
Yeah, she's already 8.
Yeah.
It's too late to bath a cat. Maybe because this was such a long episode, maybe we do a secret hashtag or something. For anyone who made it through. I used to do this in the early days of the podcast. I would say a hashtag and then whoever makes it through can comment that on Instagram or whatever.
Well, if they made it through my date readings, then that would be they'd be diehard as fuck.
What would the name of your stand-up open mic tour be? For those dates that you just rattled. I had one that was exhausted and
Anal August.
Anal August?
Yeah.
Okay, hashtag Anal August.
I just got a message from an email from like a place I bought sex toys from before, and it said Anal August, so I think that's why that was in my head. It sent me a bunch of like butt plugs for sale.
And you're waiting now to bring this up.
What? It's just I bought sex toys online before, and so now I get spammed all the time.
Yeah,
and they said
now I have 1,000 questions, and we have to end the podcast.
pinkcherry.com.
Gotta buy local, Michael. What you doing? Go to Venus Envy.
I did go to I went to Pleasures and Treasures to get a vibrator for my girlfriend.
So nice.
But it was actually a back massager, which I find interesting. Like it's marketed as a back massager.
That's what you want?
I don't know if it was that brand, but it's the same, looks the same.
Yep.
But like I find it funny how they have back massagers and then they're like, but it's also a sex device. Like I wonder if you go to like Bath and Body Works, they'll be like, here's some, technically they're anal beads, but they also separate your toes well for when you're painting them. Trying another bit out on you. There we go.
I like it.
I'm milking this content.
I like it. I just know that the audience will either groan or laugh at you not knowing it was back massage.
I didn't. No, like, yeah, whatever.
There's like this, like the Thorough Gun is another one.
They could probably sell way more of them with that approach because you get non-masturbators involved too.
Yeah, exactly. Multi-purpose.
Yeah, why not?
Multi-purpose. So, hashtag Anal August.
And I have used it for my shoulders, like after work sometimes. Like, why not? It's what it's for.
Oh my God, that's so fucking funny. Yeah, I actually feel like I'd probably use it more as an actual.
You never? You have one of those and you've never tried it for your back?
I do not have a wand.
Oh.
Do not have one of those.
She got one.
I don't know if you know my sex toy joke. I'm a hand bitch.
It's the only way.
I don't need sex toys.
Maybe you should keep it that way because apparently, like, if you can just do it with your hand very easily, then you'll get desensitized.
That's right. Listen to Michael. He knows what he's saying.
I just parroting Dr. Drew's.
Even though he's very kind and got an amazing sex toy for his girlfriend, it is important to enjoy it. Like I just like it because it's like I take my coffee black, you know? I don't need any fucking cream and sugar.
Yeah, I started taking them black just so like they can't fuck it up.
Right?
They just pour it.
But now I can drink coffee anywhere.
Yeah, like driving stick shift.
If a zombie apocalypse happened, I don't need a fucking outlet. I don't need to charge things. I'm good.
Flicking your bean is like driving stick.
I truly like I dropped like I want to say like $350 on like 2 sex toys like a couple years ago, and I've used them. There's one I haven't used at all, and the other I've used like maybe 5 times.
One you haven't used at all? Is it one that you need somebody to use it? How could you never have gotten around to it?
I think it was like I got ballsy, and then I chickened out because it's like a suction cup dildo.
What's so wild about that?
It's really big.
Oh. Yeah, I guess.
And it's just one of those things where I'm like, I know I could probably make this happen, but like it's
you need to set an afternoon aside.
I don't know, man. Like I think I bit off more than I can chew.
I was just about to say that. You got a little ambitious.
I got too ambitious.
You bought more than you could fit in your mouth.
I also feel like who was it? Michaela was telling me, like, we were just talking about the idea of like reselling sex toys and how we wish we could do that.
Well, why not? If you made an app that's like, here's used sex toys, there'd be some freaks that are like, I'm fine with
There'd
this.
be some freaks, but also you could be like, it's out of the package, but I've never used it. Then you'd have
that's nobody would trust that.
You'd have to trust the person, but also
you could sell to a friend.
You could also clean it really good. Like I don't know if I would care.
You would buy a used sex toy? A dildo for 10%.
Okay, probably not, but I think some people would.
You're like judging people for not thinking that's
I'm not
gross.
Judging. I just don't like sex toys enough. Like I don't even like them enough brand new.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But there's like some people who like have a fucking dungeon or a closet full of them.
I feel like the options for sex toys are so much vaster for women. Like I would go nuts if I had all those holes and things to do.
There's 1,000 of them, and they're not
suckers and lickers and vibrators.
The only one you need is the one that has the air pulse technology and is like a clit sucking. That's the only one you need because no human male can replicate that.
Yeah, you can.
No.
What are you talking about? You can suck like at the same time.
No, not like that fucker can.
No,
the
of course.
Satisfier.
Yeah,
The
not like that.
Satisfier.
It's
not the same.
We got that one.
But it's not the same. You can get close to it, but it's not the same.
I mean, I don't know if I don't think she's obsessed with it. I mean, she could be using it constantly, but like.
You don't have air pulse technology in your mouth.
It's too hard to line up though when you're having sex.
Yeah.
The air pulsar thing.
Well,
the wand it's
people,
got such a big head on it. It's like
people
you
can
can't
use
miss.
it alone, Michael.
Yeah, but whatever. Whatever. That's not what I'm interested in.
This was a delightful chat. Thank you so much for coming back on the podcast.
Thank you for making my podcasting career what it is today. My second podcast ever.
Second podcast ever. And I always love chatting with you. So thank you so much for coming on. This was awesome.
You're welcome.
And where can people follow Michael Kennedy?
At Mike Kennedy Comedy. The KE from the Kennedy is the KE from the Mike. So it's MIKENNEDY comedy.
Oh, that's really smart.
It looks cool on screen.
And then you have to explain it.
And then you have to explain it.
Welcome to having a podcast called Intoxicated, where the T.
I never
T-A-L-
spell it right.
It's TALK.
Yeah, we're both should change our shit, but I
we
just
should.
changed it back from like Thomas, so I can't be changing every day.
No, who are you, Brandon Michael?
I know.
Sometimes it's stand-up Brandon.
Joe always
Sometimes it's Brandon Michael is comedy. We love you, Brandon, but pick a username.
Joe always wanted me to go up on stage as Michael Brandon.
Michael Brandon. Oh, that's so funny.
Because Brandon Michael.
Yeah, that's great. I had to.
He was like, make that your permanent name if you don't like Thomas. I was like, no, I'm not going to build my whole identity around being a spoof of Brandon Michael.
Hey, it could work.
Yeah, I just have to hope he gets famous, and then I also get famous off of his fame. I'll be a parasite. I'm going to pretend like I'm a professional comedian on a professional podcast and read my dates. I'm going to like just play make-believe right now.
Do it.
All right, podcast listeners, I'll be at the Red Room Riot on Friday, August 12th. And before that, even, I'll be at Oasis Comedy Tuesdays at, the 9th of August.
Oh,
that's
nice.
Tuesday, the 9th. That's before the 12th.
Yep.
And then I'll be...
Wait, sorry, when were you at Red Room?
The 12th.
Okay.
Are you going to be there?
I don't know yet. Probably could be. Go on.
I feel like I'm really just milking this, and I'm holding you hostage right now.
No, I love it. Keep going.
And then I'll be at Yuck Yuck's Pro Amateur Night on the 18th of August. These are all in August.
Back at it. Yuck's Amateur Night.
Back at Yuck's again, and this is always the part where I stop podcasts, is when I hear people doing this. So I wonder if anybody's listening. And then I'll be at Gus's Monday on the 29th.
Oh my God, that's awesome. You got a bunch of shows coming up. That's great.
I got a bunch of shows, and I'm just waiting on someone else to answer me. And I'm at Foggy Goggle on the 28th.
Who were you? Foggy. Oh, right. For Sunday, Foggy Funnies.
Yes.
That's a really fun place to like play around.
Yeah.
Honestly.
They're very
I
a
love
little too nice, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It's always fun.
Yeah. It's fun for like those new jokes that you just wanna get out and like do.
Yeah. I got an app that like posts clips with captions and stuff, and I have a clip from there, and it's
nice.
like it worked really well, but like I'm watching myself do it. It's like, this is obviously the first time I've done this joke. Like I'm barely getting it out. I'm like, God, this word, then this word, then this word, then this word. Like you can see the stutteriness, and it's like,
too hard on yourself.
it did good, but I don't want to post it because it looks too
new.
Too new. Yeah.
Get a good crowd response.
It did,
Then
but that's
fuck
the thing with Foggy Funnies. It's like it'll be good even if it doesn't deserve it sometimes.
I know.
Because they're so I don't know how she does it. How she just like sets the vibe so well that like they're just always a cool crowd.
It sets everybody up so good.
Yeah.
All the time. Okay, let's end this fucking podcast.
All right, that was
Hashtag Anal August.
hashtag Anal August.
And Michael can ring that bell.
I missed it.
You didn't like with one finger. God damn.
How else?
Most people like.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's why I missed.
Thank you for listening to the Intoxicated Podcast. If you enjoyed this week's episode, make sure you subscribe on whatever podcast app you use and leave a rating or review on Apple Podcasts. You can also give us a follow on Facebook and Instagram at Intoxicated Podcast and check out our video episodes on the Intoxicated YouTube channel. Until next week, feel hard and talk hard. Intoxicated Podcast is hosted and produced by Sarah McClellan and brought to you by the messiness of life.